Yo, welcome to another episode of The Panel. Adam Silver has confirmed, and it's breaking news, that the NBA will be expanding to Europe very soon. And by Europe, that could mean multiple countries, but in specifically, Adam Silver said that a new British league, hello Mars, will start. NBA Europe will start in 2027, having teams in London and Manchester. Talk to me about this, Mars. How do you feel about the NBA coming to your backyard?
How does this work, Ron? I want to make sure I'm understanding this. So they have these teams, right? They got these teams, like they got a team in Manchester. They'll have, I think they'll have what do you call them, Ron? Fenerbahce?
Fenerbahce?
Fener is in Turkey. Fenerbahce is in Turkey.
I think they're going to be involved in this NBA expansion thing too. What I've read. My question is does this mean that they're going to play NBA teams? Is that what we're going to do?
Chill.
I just need to make sure I'm understanding what it is.
The details are still being ironed out, but the idea is it's going to act like the Football Champions League, where basically the best teams in Europe will play in a central league. So these teams in Manchester and London, so Manchester City and Chelsea, they've said are going to have teams. I don't know if teams like Panathinaikos, Fenerbahce will compete as well, but the idea, Chill, is that they'll play in like a central NBA branded league.
Okay.
So it's the Euro League branded by the NBA.
That's what I was just about to say, Moss. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the Euro League.
So do they play NBA teams or what? Like, that's my question. Like, are they playing NBA teams or no?
Because it doesn't sound like
everyone's question.
Yeah, maybe in preseason, but it seems like they just play against each other, same way the Euro League teams do, and they compete. They've just rebranded. They've basically just said, "Hey, Euro League, we're gonna take what you do because we're the NBA."
It's crazy.
Yeah. They've just monopolized. They're trying to monopolize basketball. That's what I'm hearing. Shout to them,
because to your point, Ron, I mean, Fenerbahce is not going to play Oklahoma City and Atlanta. In are they going to play them in regular season games? Because I do know. I mean, we saw last year with Indiana and San Antonio going over to France and playing. Right, we've seen Detroit and I forgot who they played in was it Detroit and Chicago? I think it was Detroit and Chicago were playing in Paris. I want to say something like that.
But with Brooklyn, the Nets about to play a team from Jerusalem on October 3rd. So, I mean,
but we have seen that though, Richie. We've seen preseason. We've seen preseason like when the Lakers played against FC Barcelona in the preseason. So we've seen teams do that. I don't think that's anything new. The question that I'm asking is this going to be a part of the regular season of the Oklahoma City Thunder's 82-game season? Is Fenerbahce going to be on their schedule once this season? Is Panathinaikos going to be on their schedule? This team in Britain, are they going to be on the Atlanta Hawks schedule? Because geographically, Ron, with the East Coast, I mean, it's a lot less difficult for Atlanta or for Brooklyn to get to England than it is for Golden State. I mean, that's a 12-hour flight to get to Paris, to get to England. So, I mean, I'm just trying to make sense. But I do think that it's good in terms of the expansion of the NBA. I mean, I think you get to see more NBA teams over there.
Maybe
expansion of the game.
Yeah, maybe they do a you know how they do the Commissioner's Cup. Maybe they do a cup like that where they play a couple teams in Europe or something like that for a period of time. Maybe that's a possibility.
The intention is for this league not to be a part of the usual regular season in the NBA, Chill. It's not going to be like that. I think it's going to be its own siloed league. Like Mars said, it's just going to basically have an NBA footprint in Europe. It's probably going to act like the G League in Europe, except there'll be better talent because it's in Europe. And it's going to take some talent away from the Euro League. Exactly.
We're just putting the NBA name on it.
Exactly.
So this is another quote from Adam Silver. He said, "We want to try to model a league after a system we know where it might not be a hard cap system, but where you can regulate competition. There's a sense that if you have a team, your team has a fair chance to win a championship."
I agree with that. I'm cool with that. Like I hate that teams have in certain cities have like allowed teams to like build up, stack their teams and stuff like that. So I know people don't like the cap problem, but I think it does build fairness to the league to where your team do have a realistic shot of winning championship if they do all the right things. Yeah, I'm cool.
Now, Dritch, Now, Gentry, I've always been one of these people who that's a you problem. I mean, I built up my business from the ground up, and the fact that I've been able to not just monetize it, but the fact that I've been able to become a big deal, like what the New York Knicks have become, what the I don't know, the Lakers have become, because I've been able to do that. You had an opportunity to do that with your organization too, only except you didn't do it. There's plenty of guys. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the Portland Trailblazers owner, I mean, he was the owner of Microsoft. He had plenty of dough. So it wasn't like, these guys were hurting. Just like Steve Ballmer with the Clippers, the owner of the Trailblazers, he was the richest guy in the league. So you had an opportunity to build up your crew. I think that it limits teams, and I think that it limits people and I don't like it. I think that it limits you when you have an opportunity, when I don't have an opportunity to capitalize or to maximize my team, when I got the salary cap or I got a certain amount of players that I could have. I've never really been a big fan of that.
Yeah, but what about the teams at the bottom of the league that sucks? Like, aren't we tired of Charlotte sucking? Aren't we tired of the Wizards sucking? Aren't we tired of like all of these trash teams just being very bad over and over and over again?
No.
I am. I'm tired of watching the Charlotte Hornets play and they get the number one draft pick.
But the most important thing in basketball is management. And if you don't have a good front office that can't do their job competently, then that's going to be the biggest issue, no matter what happens.
Also, they don't have a lot of money either, though. They also don't have a lot of money because they're in Charlotte.
And that's why
they're also not that desirable because they're in Charlotte.
Exactly. But I would agree with that.
You can't just move every team to LA. Like,
but
it's not just the Lakers owners were dedicated to the cause. No, they were in Los Angeles.
But that's what but that's Swiper's point, though. Swiper's point is, as management, that's your job to build up your crew. The Utah Jazz, it might not be the most desirable place, but we get it right in the draft. We get it right with trades. We get it right in free agency. And we're building our team up.
Well, they've historically been like a very good franchise, though. Yes,
they have, though, Moss. Yeah. And the fact that they didn't win the NBA championship, okay, they haven't won it, but they've been competitive. And not everybody's going to win the NBA championship. We do.
Yeah, it just so happens to be the same teams all the time.
But to me,
desirable locations.
What, 16 teams have won NBA titles, Mars?
I don't know the number, but
including OKC, adding
Milwaukee, the
outliers are the outliers for sure. But for the most part, you're going to be looking at Golden State, LA, teams in Texas. Like, it's not. There's a reason for that
now
because historically.
Not historically.
Yes, that's what it's going to be.
Miami,
the desirable locations win the most championships. That's not even debatable. That could just go down the list.
Yeah, I think more so my premise is that it's like, even if you change some of the things for the lower tier teams, the problem is if you cannot manage assets well, that's always going to be the thing that drops the ball. One of the reasons the Lakers weren't winning for a long time, they had 9 coaches, I believe, over 13 years. I can't remember the exact number. 9 over 13, whatever we came up with last time we did this show. They had terrible management. That's when Jeannie Buss's brother was still involved. Mitch Kupchak was still involved. So even if they were in the premium spot in the NBA, if you have bad management, you're not winning anything. Now, to Marge's point, I absolutely agree. There's a coastal bias in the United States when it comes to NBA basketball.
That part,
baddies and beaches matter. I want to play where there are baddies and beaches, and LA got baddies and they got beaches. So I will be in LA. So I understand that 100%. But I think the other side of this, though, Jordan, there are small market teams that can still do well. OKC, for instance, they continue to do well because they just know how to make good decisions with assets, rosters, draft picks, how to pay people, when to pay people, how much to pay people. Their system different. I think Denver's been an example of that up until Calvin Booth got into that last little iteration of his time. Milwaukee, I would say.
Slow down a little bit, though, Swiper, because
go ahead.
Slow down a little bit because Oklahoma City made an incredible trade for one golden child, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that changed their whole franchise.
Like, but they were good before that, though.
Yeah, they would still be a good team.
But
you
got
they drafted.
Yeah, they drafted all them guys.
They drafted
even before that though. Swiper, you got James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I know they drafted Russell Westbrook when they were technically the Sonics and Kevin Durant, but that whole management moved over and came to the Thunder, and they still drafted well with the Thunder. So like they
remember the I
gotta give my credit to them.
The Chris Paul contracts, they managed to find ways to make assets out of veteran contracts that people thought that were invaluable. They then made the money work for Isaiah Hartenstein and others. They paid players on time. They didn't overvalue contracts. You know, Mars knows I've always thought Kendrick Williams is a good player. They managed to have players on the roster that fit what they do, that are low management, low salary players that you can use. They rebuilt Isaiah Joe, Wiggins. Like, they just did all the personnel things. Now they're like at the top. The Pacers, Jordan, I would argue, are very similar. Remember, the Pacers historically have never been a team that pays a lot to their players, but they traded for Tyrese Halliburton. They traded for Pascal Siakam, managed the asset of Bruce Brown extremely well in order to leverage that for Pascal Siakam, developed Miles Turner, drafted Andrew Nembhard in the second round. They rebuilt the value of what's the name? Chill from Boston. Aaron Nesmith from Boston.
He was a gift. Yes,
yeah,
he was.
all these players, like they just found a way. TJ McConnell's been there for years. I think that like in this era, you have to be able to manage the talent that's around you and be able to look and project on what you're going to need going forward to build around your best players. And I think a lot of these franchises that haven't done that, I think like the Charlotte Hornets, like that's just a prime. Remember, also too, Jordan, remember, they hired their coach, fired their coach, rehired him within what, a 2-year period?
Yes.
Was that a 2-year period that they did that?
Yes.
So like we've seen multiple examples that even if you like get the lottery every single year, you still are poorly run. And so therefore results don't change. And I think, Jordan, you know this as somebody who's a trainer, you know leadership is everything. And if you got bad leadership, your direction is all over the place. You're never going to get out of being
so.
I also don't think Charlotte has a lot of money though. Like they've historically always paid the lowest in everything. Their fans, like ever since I think Michael Jordan bought the team, their fans has always been the lowest like attendance rating. Like they don't show up at the games. Like they just don't really have money to do all the things that y'all saying that they can do. Like I get it, you got to manage something, but they ain't got very much to manage. It's like they don't pay coaches. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay coaches. They don't pay big. They don't spend big in free agency. They don't really have the money or infrastructure. Indiana do though. I think that, like Indiana always been a good team.
And to Maz's point, I mean, if you're going to have the same franchises winning the NBA championship every year, okay, sure, but we are going to be competitive on some level. Let's not forget, just because you're in a desirable location, that doesn't necessarily lead to success. The Clippers are in Los Angeles. Let's not forget that. And the Clippers have been in Los Angeles for quite some time.
Keep going beyond that, though, Chill.
Right.
Both New York teams,
yes,
Chicago.
I never said it guarantees success. What I said was it gives you a better chance.
Okay, but and yes, it does, 100%.
You don't just go into an even playing field because you're in the NBA. And acting like that's the case, all 30 teams at the start of every year have the same chance. No, we understand there's things outside of other NBA teams' control that give the Lakers a better chance than a team that's in an undesirable location. Like
one of them things is location. Sure, one of those things is location, which is why I feel like a team like the Utah Jazz, who, I mean, like we forget that, the Jazz were in the NBA championship 18 years from their existence. They showed up in 1979. Yeah, I want to say 1979, and then in 1997 they were in the NBA championship. I mean, expansion teams don't normally do that. That's not really going on. More times than not, it takes a long time to get to the NBA championship. So, I mean, the Jazz built that thing up. Not only did the Jazz, the Oklahoma City Thunder, as of late, they have done that. But we've had 6 different champions over the last 6 years. And because we've had 6 different champions and we've had parity, and these teams haven't not been of a desirable location. The Toronto Raptors, even though Toronto is a dope city, it's kind of difficult to get guys to come up there because it's Canada and Toronto doesn't have a rich history. Milwaukee, I mean, nobody really wants to go to Milwaukee like that. I mean, they got lucky drafting Giannis the way that they did. Golden State, again, we could talk about Golden State doing what they did as of recently. Swiper, let's not forget, previous to drafting Steph Curry, they had won one playoff series in 23 years. Mm-hmm. This is one of the top 5 markets in America, in San Francisco, Oakland, in that area, right? So if you think about the NBA in Oklahoma City, we were just talking about them, like not that many people came to the parade. They just won the NBA championship, even though that wasn't true. But I feel like if you play in a smaller market, your job is management. To your point, Drenchy, when you're talking about not having money, your job is management. I do have these players, even if it's for a short window. And if I have these players for a short window, I have to get it right because I don't have Steve Ballmer money, right? I don't have Portland Trailblazer money. I don't have Boston Celtic money. So I got to get it right. And once I get it right, and I've shown that I've gotten it right, now my place, even though it might not be as desirable as Los Angeles, as desirable as New York or Miami, it becomes a place where, I wouldn't mind playing there. There's some guys that are looking at you. You think Hartenstein would go to Oklahoma City if they were New Orleans? You think he would go play there? Even if that dough was on the table, you think he would go play in New Orleans?
I mean, to be fair,
depends what his priorities are. If he's trying to
to be fair, the Pelicans, You would think the city of New Orleans would have a better market for basketball than the Thunder. They don't, though. They don't show up to the Pelicans game in New Orleans. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really say manage this, manage that. If your fans not showing up to games, how you don't have money?
Why would the fans show up to a bad product?
One could argue that the fans aren't showing up because the team sucks.
Nobody. First of all, the Pelicans, they never in the city of New Orleans. They never really supported the Pelicans like that anyway. Like, they're just not what they do. Like, they
you don't think they supported the Hornets when they had Chris Paul and David West?
Really. No, not when they changed. I think the Jazz used to be in the
That's why they moved over on the city street.
After the Jazz moved from New Orleans, they stopped supporting it. Like, I know that because my dad's from New Orleans. He said the same thing. They just don't support nothing. Like, they support the Saints even when they trash.
They don't support the Saints when they're trash, my brother.
Who don't?
Their attendance records were horrific for years until they got Drew Brees.
Yes, but the Saints ain't always been the greatest team since then.
But I'm saying they weren't. They've had, but up to 2017-18, remember they were competing for NFC titles, and then they had the lull period. So like they're still in those, but in the NFL, like a 8-year lull is like whatever. But like
they support the Saints right now, and they saying the Saints the worst team in the NFL.
Hey, to be fair, Spencer Rattler been balling. That's all I'm saying. But look, I don't want
to the worst team in the NFL.
I bet they lose this week.
But who did they play?
I bet they lose this week.
Of course they do.
Anybody?
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, of course they do. Put your fingers down. They're crooked anyway. So this is what I'm trying to say is that
because I be working with these. Your fingers are straight and manicured.
No calluses on your hands at all. Let me see them. Let me see them baby fingers. Hold on, put them up. Put them up. Let me see them baby fingers. Well manicured, soft as baby bottoms. Exactly. So, Jordan, I think the issue is for me personally, and you push back if you feel like you need to, which is probably going to happen. I think personally that if you don't win in this league, brother, you ain't getting, especially if you've never won, it's going to be extremely difficult getting support from your fans. And because you've seen this too. In LA, one of the reasons LA is always going after superstars in all of their sports because they're competing against the Dodgers, the Lakers, Anaheim's right down the road. You got all these teams in California. If you're not good, then you're just not you're not relevant amongst the family. Because I got to go to a Dodgers game. I can go outside and go to the club, go get me a drink right now, right across the street, and have a great time. But if you got Shohei Ohtani, I want to go to the game.
Okay, what about Charlotte though? Charlotte always wasn't a bad team. No, I'm saying Charlotte always wasn't a bad team. Remember when they were competing?
Yeah, when they had Larry Johnson, they were real. Everybody went to them games. I remember.
Yes,
with the butt crack. With the butt crack.
Hold on, but that's crazy. The butt crack is crazy. But even when they was competing with Kemba Walker, they still had the lowest attendance.
I mean, Kemba Walker, my goodness,
competing
they made the playoffs that one time.
Yeah, they still had the lowest attendance in the NBA.
Jordan, but Charlotte's never been serious though. Even with Kimber Walker, they've never been serious.
No, they chill. Come on, chill. They were competing for
when
lower
was Charlotte
tier
serious? When did you ever think Charlotte? And the way you hype the Cavs right now, when did you ever hype Charlotte like that?
It was 30 years ago when they had a good team with Larry Johnson.
For Charlotte.
How long did who?
Gordon Hayward played with Charlotte.
Oh, that was
he got there in 21, and he left when he retired, right?
No, because he was in Oklahoma City too.
I thought he got there. I thought he got before there.
He went to OKC and then retired. Right?
And Jordan, let me read this to you just so you understand what
you got there in 2021. I was right.
What Charlotte fans have been dealing with. They were 19-63 this year, 21-61, 27-57, 43-39, and that's the year they made the play in Mars.
43 and 30, 43 and what? 39?
Yeah, they made the play
in the year with LaMelo.
Okay, yeah, they made the play.
Oh yeah, they made the play in and got blitzed by the Cavs.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, but
listen, Jordan, and then you were
still trash.
And then they were 33-39, 23-42, 39 wins, 36. They did have a 48 win season in 2015-16. Lost in the first round, but everybody was there. Everybody watched those. Everybody went to those games. In the playoffs.
Are the Pelicans the laughing? I mean, are the Hornets the laughing stock of the NBA?
Probably Michael Jordan sold the team because of that too. I'm telling you, I remember when Michael Jordan.
He was probably contributing to it, but I mean,
they drafted Michael Kidd-Gilchrist when they.
Yeah, that was a horrible draft pick. But even Michael Jordan, when he said he bought the team, he said one of the reasons why he bought it is because he really appreciated how in the '90s the Hornets were on top of the league attendance. They were top of the league attendance every year. It was a rocking place. He said. Slowly after that, they started being a bottom. So that's why he bought it, because he wanted to make a change. Now, he actively did differently. He definitely did differently when he drafted Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, for sure. But at the same way, they still been bottom of attendance ever since.
But they haven't had any reason. I mean, honestly, though, Jordan, what? Because even you as a Houston Rockets fan, I know you flip flop from team to team here and often. But I'm saying
never
that like
flip-flop from the Houston Rockets. You never seen me root for another team.
you had the
He's always been
Hakeem
down with
Rockets years, and then you had the T-Mac Rocket years, and then you had like a little drop off for like what, a few years.
The Aaron Brooks years, yeah.
And then
I
you
still was
had
a Houston Rockets fan.
right, but then you had the Dwight Howard year, or what was it, 2 years or 1 year before Harden got there?
2
years or whatever. And
no, he was there when him and Harden were there at the same time.
But I'm saying, but like, did Dwight get there a year before? No, they got there at the same time.
They were there
okay, so then you had Dwight and you had Harden. So then, like, from that point on, then you had James Harden, and you were always competing for conference titles or for second rounds. Then you had a superstar like at your deck. And I feel like
you forgetting 1 year. You forgetting Luis Cola year when he was by himself and we were still competing. We weren't compete for shit, but we was making the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, you forgetting the Luis Cola years. We weren't competing, but we was doing something.
But with Charlotte, they should be like with LaMelo. You can say what you want about him, but he's box office.
Superstar.
Like you know, he's box office. Like he'll put people in seats, so their attendance should improve. But to Swiper's point, it's about management, really. How, especially now with the new CBA, how many owners want to pay those luxury tax bills when the multipier's out of control? You know, how can you build winning rosters when management don't really want to touch the first and second aprons? It's very difficult now with the new CBA. But Ron, to your point with the European stuff, I think what was more alarming in Silver's comments was he says this has to be done by 2028. Like he goes, the time is now to do it by 2028. But how about fixing the domestic expansion first before thinking about doing this whole European revamp?
How about that, Ron? Can we have our team back, please? What you talking about? What's going on?
What's that to fix?
How about us getting our team back up in Seattle first? How about that? I understand the whole expansion.
I'd rather a team in Vegas first. I'd rather a team in Vegas.
I'd rather a team in London.
I'd rather a team in Mexico before
Seattle.
I'd rather a team.
You don't got to.
I'd rather a team in Mexico City.
As a matter of fact, I'll be right back.
What is
I bet we win in tonight.
Okay, first of all, the Seattle market. The reason why the reason why it ended up the way it ended up was because the people in Seattle at that time, did not want to fund a new arena. They felt like the owner had plenty of money and he could have bought this himself. And they didn't want to fund a new arena. It's not that they didn't want to keep their basketball team. It's just that they didn't want to fund a new arena. So then that's where I forgot the owner of the Oklahoma City. I forgot the guy who bought the team at that time. I forgot his name, but he was the one who came in and found Oklahoma City, because what happened with Chris Paul and that crew down there and how viable they were. He found out that, Oklahoma City may be interested in building us a new arena. That's how they ended up down there. Not because basketball wasn't prevalent and basketball wasn't a big deal.
Because Virginia need a team. Virginia is a big. Yeah, they do. Virginia, boy, in that 757, boy, they love basketball. They love sports. They got to pick between the Hornets, the Panthers, the Heat. They love sports in Virginia. You give them their own team, boy, they pick between like 4 teams in Virginia. So you give them a team in Virginia, man, please. They got baddies and beaches.
I just feel like in a basketball city like Seattle.
Now everybody got good baddies and beaches. Jersey got baddies and beaches too, but their beaches ain't all that good. And she'll know what I'm talking about.
Virginia got good beaches and baddies. What are you talking about?
They do, but it's a different kind. But the thing is, you got
kind of what baddies?
You got baddies. You do got baddies in Virginia and Charlotte and Carolina and all that. But the issue is the beaches are not as good. The limelight's not as good in those places. Florida got baddies and beaches too, but again, like different types of baddies and beaches. You got like Charlotte, Virginia. It's a lot of black women and all that stuff. You know, some of these players, blah, 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 blah. But then in Florida, chill where you are. You know, we got your Cubans and Puerto Ricans and everybody down there.
No. We need it. We need 757. We need that. We need.
And then on the left side, you got like everything. But a lot of these players, are like Wilt Chamberlain. I'm like much blah blah blah.
There's no way you're gonna tell me an NBA players wouldn't want to go down to Virginia Beach and play basketball in Virginia.
Not more
than LA, brother.
I don't want to go to Seattle. No one cares about playing in Seattle. No one cares.
Mars, the Manchester team is going to be called the Fish and Chippers.
No one cares about Manchester. I'm not here advocating for them.
Ain't nobody baddies and beaches in London.
Shout out Manchester.
I'm not even advocating for London. I'm just advocating for anywhere but Seattle.
Listen, I guarantee you, if they would make a poll on what city NBA players rather play in, Seattle or Virginia, I'm more than certain they picking Virginia. Seattle
What?
is trash.
But hey, it's not about
Seattle
the
is
NBA
a
players.
cold city, bro. You tripping,
it's not about the
Viper,
NBA
I
players.
am not moving to
Seattle
Roanoke.
is a cold city,
Viper,
bro.
I'm not moving to Roanoke over Seattle. I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry, Seattle a dope city, bro.
It
I'm
rains
not
too
moving to
much in
Hampton.
Seattle.
I'm not doing that.
Why would you move to
No.
Hampton? What?
I'm not moving to Hampton over Seattle.
Jordan, the NBA season is during the fall and the winter. Yeah, you got the spring, but the NBA season, the majority is it's throughout the whole winter. It's cold everywhere. It's cold in Houston.
Yeah, you're right.
In February, it's cold in Houston. In December, it's cold in
It ain't that
Houston.
cold in Houston.
It's raining and it's snowing
December
everywhere.
is hot in Houston. December is hot in Houston.
Is it hot in Vegas?
Yeah, it's hot in Vegas too.
Not-
Ron, did it rain
So who
today?
do we have? Seattle?
No, I'm looking outside right now. It is.
Is it gonna rain?
Vancouver?
No, today's going to be 80 degrees.
Gonna rain?
Yesterday was 80 degrees.
Is it gonna rain?
It's not raining season yet.
So look, Ron different because
Why does it? No. Time out. What? You are a hooper. Are you playing? You not playing outside? You not playing on the field? You
don't
not
wanna
playing
look
at the
at
park?
rain all
You
day.
are a hoop. Hey, that's why Seattle produced the most hoopers. Because while
Nah,
y'all be trying to be on the
it's a
beach,
little bit
hey, while y'all be trying to be on the beach, while y'all be running around outside at the fairs and whatnot, we be in the gym. Why? Because it be raining outside. So what do? We put on our kicks. We go in the gym. We get out the rain and we get it in. All right.
Ron, that ain't got nothing to do with NBA players coming to Seattle.
No,
just saying.
the point I'm
just
making
saying.
is, hey, you are a professional basketball player. Get your ass in the gym. The elements
right.
should not matter. You
It
should
does
be in the
matter.
gym working on your game. All right.
It does matter. It does matter because if I got to pick between looking at Seattle all day with nothing going on, and I can pick a better view in Virginia or a better culture in Virginia, I'm going to Virginia. I don't want to go to Seattle.
But Jordan, check this out though, and that's fair. I'm assuming I've never been to Virginia Beach. I'm assuming Virginia Beach is fire.
If they making songs about it, Ron, it's something there.
No, I'm assuming it's fire. Here's my thing though. As a professional basketball player, you're gonna be in Seattle for a few days max, and then you're gonna be on the road going to Virginia Beach, going to Orlando, going to New York, going to Phoenix. You're gonna be moving around. And then during the summer, when you're not hooping, you can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
It's not like you're literally gonna be in Seattle for a fraction of the time, a good fraction of the time, but you're not gonna be there indefinitely.
With this expansion that Adam Silver is talking about, how many teams, in your estimation, do you see the NBA? Let's say it's September, it's 2030. How many teams are in the NBA?
32, hopefully.
Yeah,
Like,
32,
even numbers, please.
32 to 34.
So two more teams.
Please
within
no
the
more
next
than
5 years,
32
you guys think?
teams. That's way too many damn teams to keep up with.
32 for sure by then, for sure.
Mm.
There's,
And
but
And those
there's
two teams are
Vegas and Seattle.
Vegas and Seattle, yeah.
Why
After that's probably
advocate
Vancouver.
for Seattle?
Because they
They
already
don't-
have a legacy of basketball,
Well,
number one.
there's no argument. Seattle's going to get a team. It's just going to be a dark day for my life. But Seattle is going to get a team. Kind of just got to accept that. At this
Mars,
point.
you had a good time when we was in Seattle. I thought you did.
Hey,
thought you had a good time
I
when you
know.
was out
Yeah,
there.
I know
great
in
time.
the-
Me and Mars had a little 2-man mission on the side. Me and Mars
I
was
know.
getting it in,
Two-man.
man.
I know.
I had some dark thoughts after that. Man. I had some dark
I know
thoughts.
the NFL and the NBA have been trying to look at Mexico City. I know it sounds funny. I'm serious. They've been looking at
Yeah, they've been
Mexico
trying to
City
do
for a
that,
little minute.
especially the NFL, bro.
NBA too. Don't they got
But
a
for
G
what,
League?
dog?
Mexico? They
Like-
got a G League team in Mexico City, right?
I think Mexico City is a
Yeah,
good
they do.
location because it's
Yeah.
it's international, but it's not crazy far. And
it's
Mexico
far.
City's the biggest, isn't it the biggest city in the world? Well, I know it's the biggest
think
city in the Americas
In this
or
region,
North
in this
America,
region. Yeah, in this region. Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure if it's not the biggest city in the world, it's top 5. It's humongous. So you guys just got
they've
to
been straddling that fence for a minute too.
Jordan, a lot of the reason why the NBA is considering certain cities and considering expansion, you guys got to understand, and Chill's alluded to it plenty of times, it is a business. They don't care about what the players think. They don't care about how fire the city is, what the nightlife is.
work there.
They care about what is the infrastructure of the city, how much money does the city have, how many people are going to attend the games in that city, how much revenue can they generate, jersey sales, all of this type of stuff, sponsors. This
Yeah,
all
and they
goes
gotta
into the
split.
equation.
And they got to split the revenue too. So if you get a franchise that is not profitable, all of a sudden the New Yorks, the LAs, every other team then that gets eaten into their pie of revenue because it gets distributed, right? The league revenue. So, but then if you get a city that's really profitable, all of a sudden that pie gets bigger. then the league becomes more profitable. So it is a business run. So they're definitely doing, the local TV deals matter. The potential for fans matter. Everything matters, man, when it comes to.
In addition, and to your point, in addition to that, I mean, you have legacy. Ray Allen, before Steph Curry showed up, I don't know if you guys know this, but before Steph Curry showed up, Ray Allen was considered the best shooter in NBA history. That's what largely people thought. I don't know, Mars, if you noticed, but he was in Seattle for 5 years.
And no one thinks of when people think of Ray Allen, they think of Milwaukee and Boston.
That's not true, Mars.
That's not true.
Wait.
They don't be
They shouldn't,
about Seattle.
They shouldn't, though.
No, that's not.
I think most people think Boston
Milwaukee.
at this point, but like
It's
I think
Boston and Milwaukee. You know what? It's Miami before Seattle.
In fact,
no one worry about no Seattle Ray. They think of Ray
fact,
Allen.
that's
They
how
gonna
he
think
got to
Boston,
Boston.
Miami, and Milwaukee. That's what they're gonna think.
But in fact, that's how he got to Boston, from Seattle. So they look back at what he did when he was in Seattle, being up there for 5 years, taking that team to the playoffs, being one of the best, if not being the best shooter in the game. I said this to you before, Mars, and I stand on the logic. They're the only team in NBA history since the merger that doesn't have their NBA champion. They're the only city. Seattle's the only city.
No one cares about the 1979 NBA champions either.
This dude does. This dude in the corner does. He 100%.
Who you're pointing to? This one. Here he
I'm
goes.
sorry. The one.
Chill. Why your camera be doing that? You be.
I just let him do it every time. I just find it funny. He's always pointing to the other side, and I just
wait. Which way am I pointing, Jordan? Which way am I pointing?
To me.
Okay, so mine's inverted too.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
who you were
So
trying to point to, Ron?
Can I fix that? Is there a way?
Yeah, you can fix it in the
You
video.
just gotta mentally just remember, if you're pointing this way, you're meant to be pointing that way.
I'm not pointing at
you. You gotta mirror the camera. You gotta mirror the camera.
You're pointing at Jordan.
Up there in the corner.
You're pointing at
Ron.
There you go.
No, you point at Ron. He lying.
Now you're pointing at Jordan. Now you're pointing at Ron.
Swipe a line.
Wait.
So now, who am I pointing at right now?
Ron.
Okay, and this is Jordan over here.
Right.
Because on my screen, this is Ron right here. I got you. Okay, so the point that I'm making is that this dude over here, he cares about the NBA champion, right? And to be honest with you, Seattle had a rich history.
He doesn't care.
They had a rich history. They had a bunch of ballers that played up there. It was a great basketball city. They hosted the All-Star game up there. One of the best dunk contests that I've ever seen in 1987. And Seattle's a great basketball city. It's a great sports town. And the NBA absolutely should be back there. 100% it should be back there.
Nah, we good.
Vegas is for sure getting the team though. They're missing a lot of money by not being in Vegas. The Raiders are making so much money off that stadium by just.
And the Raiders trash, and they ain't been good since they got to Vegas. They suck.
Well, the Raiders made the playoffs
has been
once
good besides
since
their
2000.
hockey team? What team is good besides their hockey team in Vegas?
Well, UNLV did have a run for a little bit.
The Aces.
Yeah, the Aces.
UNLV trash right now.
How about Nashville? Do you guys need another team?
Oh, I love Nashville.
Nashville would be a great city too. Mars, if we ever did another PC, like a PC meetup, like in another part of the country. Nashville. Ron, tell me I'm lying. Nashville's a dope city, dog.
I do want to learn how to line dance. I ain't gonna lie.
They need to move Memphis to Nashville. Don't nobody want to go to Memphis and play basketball. They move to Nashville.
I would love to learn how to line dance. Line dancing looks like it's dope. I would love how to do that.
So of all the franchises that you guys believe should get moved, Jordan just mentioned Memphis. I think we can all maybe agree on Charlotte. Is there any other teams that you guys think should be moved? Maybe the Pelicans?
Definitely need to sell the Pelicans. I've been saying this for long. I know the good people in New Orleans love New Orleans. Move the Pelicans. They got no business being in New Orleans no more. Like they just don't support it. The tickets is 60
New Orleans that team name back.
And $1 for tickets and popcorn. So it's 60.
So then, what would you call the Jazz?
I don't care. It makes no sense for a team in Utah to be called the Jazz. That doesn't make sense.
If you give
New Orleans Pelicans
their
team
name,
I can rename the Utah Jazz. I know a great name.
Cool Utah, whatever you want, but that's the New Orleans Jazz.
New Orleans Jazz.
Jazz has actual roots in New Orleans.
100%.
What's the relevance to Utah? It don't make no sense.
Mars, my dad.
The people in Utah kind of jazzy.
New Orleans
my
Jazz.
dad.
I like
my
that.
dad.
Giving them the benefit of the doubt, man.
And that's been bothering me ever since I got into the NBA.
For sure.
Like, it makes no sense for a team in Utah to be called the Jazz,
especially given the history of Jazz and history of Utah.
It makes no sense. Like it makes no sense.
I'm telling you, that's what they said. They said once the New Orleans Jazz gave away their name, they gave away the support too. They don't really support it like that because of that stuff. Like once they gave it the stuff, it just went away with it. Y'all know my dad was doing that. He was a fan of the New Orleans Jazz.
Eastside General said the Utah basketball team.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hey, Utah Select. That would actually work, Ron. Utah Select.
All right, fellas. Right quick before we do anything else, I do want to shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I do want to shout out everybody that has subscribed, and I do want to shout out everybody that has downloaded the Splash Sports app. Here you compete against fans, and you don't compete against the house. And if you are trying to compete against fans and not the house, and if you have downloaded the app, here's what you need to do. You need to go to the search bar, type in Player's Choice, and enter our NFL Pick'em contest. But I'm not telling you to enter for no reason. The reason why I'm telling you to enter is because the contest is free. And there's nothing better than free except for a free Splash Sports NFL Pick'em contest. As of right now, the pot is $1,500. And the top 25 people in the contest will get paid out. But there's only 30 people in there, so your chances are amazing right now. So if you haven't joined up, join right now. Hey, Swiper.
Yeah.
What exactly is this contest, NFL Pick'em?
So it's a $50,000 Survivor Series is one, and then the Pick'em contest is the other. And I have 3 picks that I've made for this week. One, I got the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins. That is tonight. I think the Buffalo Bills are absolutely going to wipe the Miami Dolphins. I think Tua hopefully has a better game this game because the comments he's making post-game have not been great. People do not like Tua right now. They think he's a little too soft, a little too forgiving, all that kind of stuff. But I think they should win. The next pick-em I got is Green Bay versus the Cleveland Browns. That is a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game on Sunday. I think Green Bay is going to not mop them, but they're going to beat them pretty convincingly. And then my guarantee of the week, chill, Giants, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. There's no way Patrick Mahomes starts the year off 0-3. No way. It's in New York, by the way. So it's going to be on turf. Patrick Mahomes will have a day. Kelsey has to bounce back. Thornton probably has a touchdown. I think Isaiah Pacheco has a better game, especially going back home to New York, New Jersey, where he's from. Shout out Jersey. I think that those are my 3 pick'ems. I think all those are going to hit Ron. Bills, and then the Packers, and then the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
So y'all got it. Swiper just gave you 3 layups. When you join the NFL Pick'em, the free NFL Pick'em, and after that, you pick from the rest of the games who you believe will win each game. Every one you get right, you get a point. And at the end of the week, once all the games are played, the person with the most points wins the most money. And the top 25 contestants in the contest will each take home a cash prize. Splash cash, that is. So we'll see you guys in the winner's circle. Download the app. The link is in the description. Catch you there.
For the record, Swiper, you had mentioned about attendance and in terms of the product. The location does matter, but I mean, I feel like the product does matter even more because the Denver Nuggets were at the bottom of the league in 2015 and in 2016. When they started getting good, attendance went up. And meanwhile, the Pelicans, Mars, since 2010, they've been in the top 15 in attendance one time. Since 2010, they've been in the bottom 10 in the league in attendance. Since 2010, except one time. And this is when Anthony Davis was there. This is when Boogie was there. They were routinely 25th in the league in attendance, 23rd in the league in attendance, 26th in the league in attendance, spots like that. Now, I think that it has something to do with the size of the arena because
no, I think it has a lot to do with their name, Chill. I'm telling you, they don't like that they changed the name from the Jazz to what did they change it to before? The Hornets and then the Pelicans.
Hornets and then the Pelicans.
I promise they do not.
Damn, they stole the Hornets name too.
They need to go back to the Jazz. If they go back to that, the people of New Orleans appreciate stuff like that. You take that away from them, they don't care like that. You have to go back to their roots. The New Orleans Jazz. I'm telling you specifically. I asked my dad when he was a kid, what was the basketball team like? He said, "Oh, we was all Jazz fans." Jazz fans. You leave. What the hell is the Hornets? What does that have to do with New Orleans? Have they even seen them in New Orleans? So, I don't even think they've seen the Hornets.
It really makes no sense.
Then they do the state bird. It's like, okay, cool. Nobody care that much about that. But
chill to your point, though.
They second line in New Orleans every day. They second line for funerals. They want to hear music. Jazz. So it makes more sense.
To your point, Chill, though, if they had the best team in the league, It's hard to imagine. It's hard not to imagine the arena being filled, right? If they had the best team in the league.
Well,
exactly.
It's interesting that Philly's had the best attendance in the league over the last like 3 or 4 years, and Philly has not been
Chicago
to the.
has the best attendance.
Well, Philly and Chicago. They've been.
It still applies because Chicago stink every year.
Yes, Philly and Chicago have been at the top of the league. I mean, Chicago sells out. They had the best. Chicago last season, they were number 1 in the league in attendance, and I mean they're a playing team. Philly, I think, was number 3. The year before that, Philly was at the top of the league again. So I feel like if you put the product on the floor that's desirable and you in a basketball city, that's why Seattle, once they get their team back, I won't be surprised if they selling out every night. Even if the product isn't as good initially, I think that management is going to have no choice but to make that team viable, because the fans were so starving for basketball, pro basketball in particular, that
they have a
they'll
WNBA.
make that thing better.
Let them enjoy that.
They did enjoy that, and give us
and
our
they can continue to enjoy that.
And we are continuing to enjoy that. Yes.
No, stay out of my league. No.
Yo, that's insane.
Hey,
shout out to New Orleans. They're coming down under, by the way. New Orleans, they're coming down under. Yeah.
Who are they playing?
October 3rd.
Why the hell would a New Orleans team be going to Australia?
Playing some NBL teams here.
They changed the leagues, Jordan. They're going to stay down there.
They probably should. Because there's no way in hell. Why would I don't think they even think about that. Ain't no way an Australian team even know who the New Orleans Pelicans are. They probably say, who? Who we playing? Who the hell we playing? No, the team was Zion. Oh, okay. Is Zion gonna play or is Mariah gonna play?
I highly doubt Zion gonna play.
Yeah, they go pack Mariah.
Ain't that why we going down there, Mars? That's why we're going down there.
For a little holiday.
Yes. Training camp. Yes, that's why we're going down there. Yes.
But they're gonna bring Mariah Mills down there and then ruin the whole country.
What do we change the name of the Jazz to? Like so if the Utah Jazz, okay, let's get rid of Utah, let's get rid of Jazz. What are we changing them to? Are they the Mountaineers? Are they the
I like the Mountaineers. I think the Mountaineers is fire, but
Swiper
said the select team, the Utah basketball team.
I got a bunch of names. The Utah Selects, the Utah Selected, if you understand the third level means selected. The Utah Selected. Somebody said the Utah basketball team. Somebody said the 13 Niners.
The Utah Baptist.
Deep
Utah
cut.
Baptist.
No, not in Utah, brother.
It's another one.
The Utah Smith.
It is another one.
The Utah Smith. That works. I think Utah Smith would be a good name.
What?
The Utah
Youngs, Brigham Young, Mr. Brigham Young.
The Youngs.
Oh, I
Utah.
thought you was
What's it called when you have multiple significant
Mark,
others?
if you go into the cut far enough, you understand what I'm saying. Oh, wait. Whoa. Jordan, tell me this name don't eat. The Utah Pollies.
What is the hockey team in Utah called? What is the hockey team in Utah called? First of all, why the fuck is it a team in Utah?
Utah Pioneers. I like Pioneers.
Wait, a hockey team like NHL?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just got an NHL team this year. They just got an NHL team this
year. The Mammoth. No. Let me tell y'all. By the way, let me tell y'all. They literally stole the name from the Colorado Mammoths, which is it's a team, arena team in Denver. That's a multi-time champion, by the way.
So that's all they do is steal team names?
They literally steal in Utah. And they stole the land in Utah. They stole the territory in Utah. They literally ousted, by the way, Jordan, if you don't know that, they outed the federal government. When the Mormons moved into Utah, they went to war with the U.S. government, Mars. And the government was like at some point, all right, whatever,
do what y'all want.
It was too far out west. But anyways, though, we don't got time to get into a history lesson or a geography lesson. What I do want to do is, speaking of geography, I want to ask you guys a couple questions. One related to Australia. Damien, we'll get to that question here in a second. But first, I do really want to see, how do you guys feel about teams being in London and Manchester? Do you guys like that? Will you guys be tapped in? Yep. Obviously, it's not going to be NBA players, but it will be NBA affiliation.
PC will be at the first NBA game in London. Ron, look at me. Looking at you. We will be at the first game in London at Mars's house. eating whatever cooking that he prefers, that he loves so much because he hates all American food. We're gonna be at Mars at the dinner table. All right, at the dinner table, we're gonna
Mars,
go
you
there.
better not act like you don't know us. When we come knocking on that door, Mars, you better not act like you don't know
Deep
us.
too.
You better open up that damn door.
I'll call the police.
Chill.
That's what you better do.
Me, Ron, Jordan, Real Talk will be there this time.
Lowe's invited to this one.
Door.
Low, Dave, you're gonna have to feed everybody. Don't you better answer the door too.
That's us, Mars, knocking on the door. Open the damn door, Mars.
Hey, he gonna call the police.
Hey, chill. He gonna open the door. I'm gonna be like, all right, Dub, come on.
Let's go. You better not act like you don't know us, Mars. And it better be some food in there too, because you knew we was coming. Because it ain't like we just showed up to your doorstep. You knew we was coming. So it better be something to eat there, and it better be, and you better open up the door.
Mars,
so
I absolutely know.
Mars looking up flight tickets to Spain right now.
If you guys actually think you're getting in, you're hilarious.
Bro, this dude, I literally show what he would do for his, and this would be good for Mars. He would literally invite us in, paper plates, and hot dogs. That would be the meal. It would be hot dogs with bread, and then some ketchup
London
on the
dogs?
side. Yes, that's exactly what he would serve us. But that was cool. I can eat a hot dog. You know what I mean? Ron loves glizzies. So like we can eat hot dogs. We love hot dogs. They got big beef franks, Chicago franks that I had when I was in Chicago. I'm telling you, man, yeah, we can do that. I'm good. I'm good with that.
But Mars, we're not coming in to tear up shit neither, Mars. We just coming to hang, okay? Right. And I know that.
You're not getting close to my house.
We 100% are getting.
The moment I see some hoodlums on my street,
hoodlums,
here we go.
All in the place.
Here we go. See now we hoodlums. This is what I'm talking about. Because we don't want to be a part of that, Mars. That's why we need to be in the house. So open up the door and let us in. Because we're not a part of the hoodlum element.
I don't think I'm gonna be in them London streets.
No, we know what's wild as hell in London. That's why we trying to come to your crib and we trying to kick it with you. So open up the door, Mars, and let us in. Stop acting like that.
You can try. I like to see how far you get. You can try.
Yeah, I know that door better be open because we came all the way over here. We ain't come all the way over here for nothing, Mars. So
I've told you the opposite of trying to come over here. I've told you not to. So if you come over here, you went for nothing. I don't know.
You have not said not to come, Mars. This is the first time we've heard you say don't come over there. So this is why we coming over there. We've never heard you say don't come over there. So we coming through, Mars.
I've been trying to keep you guys far away for as long.
So again, Mars, we coming through there, Mars. Open up the door, yo.
But yeah, yo, London, Manchester, we like the thought of that.
That'd be fun.
To your point. Well,
they already got the team.
The London Lions. And whatever Manchester team is called, I don't know.
And Ron, to your point, so there won't be any NBA players on this team. It's just going to be the NBA as an affiliation. Would it also be the NBA as potentially a farm system too? So with these guys on the crew, you can have a guy that plays for the whatever London team or whatever team in England. I mean, would he potentially be somebody can in the NBA can pick up, or is that going on anyway?
I could see that definitely being a thing where you can bring guys up on like 10-day contracts from NBA Europe and stuff like that. I could for sure see that affiliation and cross-pollination. But ultimately, I really just see it as if the NBA is going to be involved, it's really a G League Europe.
Yeah, that's right.
Literally. I can see G League teams playing those Europe teams in tournaments and stuff like that. That's something I could see happening. I don't think the NBA teams will, but I could definitely see some type of involvement with the G League.
To be honest with you, I like the expansion. I just don't like the idea of having to have NBA teams like this becoming a regular thing in terms of like going over there. Like to go over there and play once or twice, like kind of like what Detroit, like I said, like what Detroit did or what Indiana did. All right, but to have them a part of the schedule on the regular, that's going to be tough, yo. Because I think even though travel is way different today than what it was, I mean, for the Golden State Warriors to have to travel to Brisbane or something like that, I mean, that's a haul, right? So for the Phoenix Suns to have to travel to Fenerbahce, that's a haul.
And I don't know how much North American talent sort of you want in Europe. Like I think there's large ramifications if the European style does adopt an NBA style, because I think we can all agree that we love the European style. We love the difference. We love the style of play. I think we love the traditional European roots in the game. So I think if there's too much of the North American influence there, I don't know if it's good for the game in general. So I think that's something that needs to be considered as well. But it's going to act like the G League for sure.
What I want though, Ron, is I want for the NBA to recognize, very much like they do with college, I want them to recognize an actual farm system. So if the NBA if the NBA is in Europe, if the NBA is in England, if the NBA is in these countries, and you are plucking guys from these teams to play in the NBA full time, I think that the NBA would have to recognize these teams as actual farm teams, as opposed to it just being the NBA Europe, and we're just trying to expand. Okay, what are you trying to expand?
These teams and who are comprised? Would this be like EuroLeague players that are like, so like where would this rank, Ron, like in terms of like talent level? Like would this be like on par with the EuroLeague or like higher than the EuroLeague?
I think it's to Miles's point. All they're doing is just taking the EuroLeague name off of it and putting the NBA name on it. So we still getting the same level of talent that they would in the EuroLeague, just like you would like I went to the University of Portland, and I'm going to play for Fenerbahce next season. I'm going to play for Barcelona. I'm going to play for FC Barcelona. If I'm doing that, it's still the same level of talent in terms of what's over there already. We're just changing the name from EuroLeague.
But they're playing. What league are they playing in?
It will be like
NBA
Europe.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I guess how many teams would all?
Still developing, but it's going to be at least 8 teams.
Yeah.
But Swiper, to your point, it's but I mean, to your point,
it's going to be a whole
Swiper,
league, Swiper. Its own league in and of itself.
But like when you have teams like Manchester City, Chelsea having basketball teams all of a sudden, and they have rich owners, does that mean that they're poaching talent from some of these bigger European teams with NBA level talent? And then the EuroLeague suffers. Then the EuroLeague would suffer as well.
That's the reason he's saying because he needs the EuroLeague talent. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Exactly.
Because we can act like this is anything other than the NBA trying to monopolize the game of basketball.
It's a money grab.
It's not about growing the game. It's about the NBA having the best game in North America and in Europe. That's all they're trying to do. So that's why there's no salary cap, so that these rich owners of football teams in Europe can afford to pay the best European players who are playing for an Olympiacos or a Panathinaikos or a Real Madrid already have their team, etc. But that's what the goal is, to get the best EuroLeague talent to play for NBA Europe, so that the EuroLeague ultimately falls below NBA Europe and NBA will dominate Europe. That's all the goal is here. Now, whether or not you agree with the goal or whatever, that's what they're trying to do. They can paint however they want, but that's what they're trying to do.
So with this, so I guess because then the NBA will have the NBA, the G League, and then the NBA Europe.
They already have NBA Africa. Like
I was just about to say, don't forget what's going on in Africa too. Yes, don't forget that. Yeah, that's what's going on in Africa.
They're trying to be the face of basketball worldwide. So that's what it is. Great business decision. That's why
if you think about it, it does make a lot of sense.
I don't care too much about NBA Europe or whatever. I can see what's going on, but it's not like in terms of the product of basketball being in Europe, it already is in Europe. And the UK population, from my knowledge, basketball is not the most popular sport to go watch. But part of that might be just because NBA games are on at 3 a.m. So people aren't dedicating their lives when they have work in the morning to watch an NBA game till 6 a.m. So maybe if there is a basketball league in the UK that is viable, maybe they will watch it. I don't know. But
there's only a few. Yeah, it's only a few Marses in the world. There's only a few Marses in England. Not many. Most of them are watching football. Most of them are watching Manchester, Liverpool, teams like that. And the fact that the game is what it is over there at the time it is. I mean, that does make sense. I can get with that. Yeah.
Swiper, to answer your question, I think the NBA Europe will struggle a little bit to acquire talent, because I think some players are going to be skeptical to go. But then it's obviously going to be some big name players, like let's say it was Lonnie Walker, for instance. He played played in Lithuania last year. What's that team called, Jordan? The green team in Lithuania, playing the EuroLeague.
The Zalgiris.
Yeah, he played for Zalgiris.
Yeah,
that's a dude where if they offered him $10 million a year,
he's going to England.
He's going. And once more and more players start doing that, I think the more and more people will start to jump over to the NBA Europe. But they, like to Mars' point, they are going to have to outpay the EuroLeague, because the EuroLeague is accredited and they have history and they have, they have the whole foundation, and they have legacies there. They have historic franchises.
Yeah, you're gonna see Saudi. Saudi's gonna do it. Saudi and Dubai.
I just think that's too far, man. I mean, I understand the money aspect of it, to your point, Jordan, but I mean, it's a lot less difficult if I'm to your point, I'm a low level. I'm Cam Reddish. I'm somebody like that. It's a lot less difficult for me to go play in London, which is not that far from New York or from Atlanta, as opposed to going to Saudi Arabia, even if it is for even if it is for a lot of money. I mean, I think guys take that under consideration.
Well, chill. The thing about it is, if you're over there, you're already over there. Like, if you're over there, that means you can't play. You're more than likely you're not playing in the NBA. Like, if everybody that can play in the NBA, for the most part, I'll probably say 95% of people that can play in the NBA are playing in the NBA. That is the top goal, is to get in the NBA and get a max contract for most people, and to play in the most competitive league in the world. If you're not playing there, then you are either playing A in Europe, B in Australia, C in China. Those are either way it goes. You're going further from America.
And to be fair, Australia far as hell from everywhere. It's on the other side of the world. If they had the money to pay, they would go to Australia to play. They just don't have. They don't pay like the EuroLeague pay. Like, it's just, that shit is far as hell. You know how long a flight to Australia is?
17 hours from New York. From 17 from New York.
If other sports leagues could pay like the NBA, I think you'd be surprised
how many people
would leave the NBA.
They would go anywhere where they paying money at. They go
you
anywhere
see it
where
in football anyway.
Yeah, that's the reference point I'm going to. Like,
yeah, you see it in football.
A bunch of guys who are really good in Europe, and Europe's the big thing in football. It's not like the NBA. And a team in China or Saudi Arabia will come in for them. The moment your salary is being 6x, who cares about desires? No, the desire is this money. Like,
that is
if a team in Saudi is able to offer, let's say there's a slightly below. I don't want to put a name on it and accuse that player of not caring about like legacy or whatever. But let's say there's a fringe all-star caliber guy in the NBA. Never made an all-star team, but they're always in and around that conversation.
Jamal Murray.
Actually, maybe not a fringe all-star because he's making max contract money. Let's say there's a guy, really good player. He's making 15,
I got it.
20
Jonathan Kuminga.
I don't want to put anything on him, but we can use a guy of Jonathan Kuminga's stature for a reference. And he's making 15, 20 in the NBA. But let's say a Saudi team comes in. 3-year contract, 120 million. He will be in Saudi for 3 years. Like, he
Ben
will
Simmons
be
would do that right
not him, Mars, because he's too small. I mean, he's too
Cam
young.
Thomas.
He's too young.
Ben Simmons would do that right.
That's the best time to do it. When you're young and you can come back to the league at 26, that's a great time.
But see, the NBA
when
players,
you're young and you're old, that's probably the best time to do it.
See, but NBA players when they're young, they live a dream and thinking they all gonna get max contracts, so they stay a little bit longer than they should, and that don't never happen. But
Jordan, it might be some of those that do that, but the one that does it, he's gonna go over there and sign a 3-year 120, and then you know what he's gonna do after that 3-year 120?
He think he can get 3 years 120 in the NBA. As long as he think he can get 3 years 120 in the NBA, he's not gonna go.
I'm saying it's gonna be like a Peyton Pritchard, for instance.
Peyton Pritchard,
if Peyton Pritchard gets offered 3 years 120, he's going to do that.
But he's never even going to get close to that in the NBA. So of course he's going. Jonathan Kuminga thinks he will, and that's why I'm saying he's young and delusional right now.
That's why I said I didn't want to use Jonathan Kuminga's name, but just like a
young and
player
delusional.
of Jonathan Kuminga's caliber. It doesn't need to be his age, but like that caliber of player, top 150 player in the NBA, like that caliber of player. If they get offered max NBA money just in a different continent, they will be gone.
Kobe White,
they will
see ya.
Like that type of money is like, most people play sports because it pays a lot. So if you can get paid 50 million in Saudi Arabia or in Europe in this case, like whatever, like they're going to go. Especially since like Saudi, I don't think there's income tax. Like,
I mean,
that type of money is generate 3 years and your generational wealth is sorted. Like,
yeah, but Mars, unless you pay income, I mean, unless the owner pay the taxes, you still got. I mean, if you want your money in USDs, you still gonna pay taxes on it. I don't know why people be saying that. Like, you still gonna do that. So unless the owner pay it,
unless you stay over there.
Yeah, unless you stay over there, of course. Yeah, and you're probably not gonna stay over there.
No, you're not.
I mean, I might if I got
you can keep your investments over there. Yeah,
if I got Ronaldo money, I'm saying
Ron is not.
I mean, yeah, Ronaldo and others. You see the money he made from Saudi.
I can tell you right now,
Ron
Ron is not coming back. If Saudi put a 3-year, $180 million deal on the table for Ron, I'll never see him Ron again. He's moving to Saudi.
Hey,
chill. If they put a $30,000 deal on the table for Ron gone.
Hey, they don't want me over there.
If Saudi offered PC the right amount of money, we'd be doing the show in Arabic. Like we don't need to. Like, what we talking about? Like,
I don't even know Arabic.
Money going to change everything. Like the NBA is the league that provides the most money. So that's a big reason why it's the most desirable. If there was a league out there that provided more money than the NBA, players will go play in that league. Maybe not the top guys, LeBrons and KDs, and like cool, they're gonna stay in the NBA because they're gonna make max money regardless. But the non-max guys, they're going to go where the money is. Like that's where they will go. It's just logical.
Yo, so we gonna get into these crunch time chats, and then Damian, I want to kind of ask you how you feel about if the NBA were to be like, we're gonna do an NBA Australia. But before we get to that though, let me read a couple of these super chats and salute everybody that's in here. We got a good amount of people on Twitter in the house. We got a good amount of people on YouTube, obviously. We got one person on Facebook that's liked the video. So shout out to that person on Facebook. We slowly but surely getting it right on Facebook. But if you don't follow us on all the other platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, go follow us. And if you're not on YouTube, come over here, subscribe, and become a member. Speaking of becoming a member, we got a few new Hall of Famers. I'm going to start with our newest Hall of Famer. You guys know the face. You guys know the name. He used to be on Open Gym cooking up, frying, and doing what he does best. You would think that he doesn't know ball because his name is Football Breakdown. But Football Breakdown probably knows ball and can talk ball better than a lot of you guys. And I'm assuming he became a Hall of Famer so he could join the PCL tryout. So I'm expecting for him to reach out to me and get into that, which that is tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We will have a tryout to get into the PCL. As of right now, we have 5 people. We have my man Amir, Bulletproof. I got M-Tail. I got Jason Grillionaire. I got Skeet Nielsen. And I got Daniel, who just joined up as a Hall of Famer. His YouTube name is Small Boxes, but he will be participating in the PCL tryout. Football Breakdown, you are a Hall of Famer now. So if you want to come and try out for the PCL Season 3, you can go ahead and do that, my man. Just reach out to me.
Man, Jordan looked like Inspector Gadget in that photo.
Shout out Team Jordan. All right, the next super chat, or the first super chat I got is from Cowboy Bob. Cowboy Bob said, I remember a few months ago, I sent a super chat about 2 teams from EuroLeague to enter the draft. I got laughed at, but now it's happening. Guess this New Yorker don't know shit about anything. Also, saving the WNBA idea, go New York, go. You have a WNBA idea and you're not going to share it?
Yeah, he gatekeeping, apparently.
Well, shout out Cowboy Bob. Y'all remember when you guys laughed him off the stage?
I don't remember.
Cowboy Bob he created a beef with me over Tom Thibodeau.
Yes,
and
he did.
And he cooked you. I remember. Yeah,
very interesting. I just, Tom got fired, so I don't know if that's I don't know if that's my perspective on that.
Bye. Goodbye. Get him up out of here. If they would have beat Boston, Tom Thibodeau would still have his job. I'm not Tom Thibodeau. I'm sorry. If they would have ended up going to the finals, he would have still had his job. I think they made a mistake firing him.
Well, maybe they should have gone to the finals. Lock-in tips.
Even though they haven't been to the Eastern Conference Championship in the last 25 years. But all right, that's
he was playing Josh Hart with them minutes. He deserved to lose his job.
Ron, somebody said, how do I reach out to you about joining the Hall of Fame?
Well, you don't necessarily reach out to me, so you all go to our
somebody
YouTube
did
channel.
Reach out to you, to be fair, and paid you.
Ooh.
And I still haven't heard that he's a Hall of Famer, so I don't know what's going on over there.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on right there.
He's not a Hall of Famer. Unless your name's on that Hall of Fame tier. I'm sorry.
Wait, Ron, let me ask you this question. Can you be honest with me? So when you're reaching out to Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah.
Do you send out like that Ghanaian Prince email, like, I'm trapped, I need help, send $10,000 so I can get out of jail, and I'll refund you with 200% interest the next day? Like, are you one of those that send out? Is that how you do the Hall of Fame recruitment?
I'm going to take that as a yes.
I just read super chats. As a matter of fact, I don't even handle all of that. Cheerio handles all of that. And then she sends me the names and I just read it.
Ron literally put his
anything.
Cash App in the chat when this person asked, hey, how do I get involved? I would like to be a part of this.
This didn't happen. This didn't happen. Hey, Damien,
Ron,
this did not happen.
Damien, when I see Ron, I swear I am going to attack him. I'm telling you this right now. When I see Ron,
really
I trust the integrity of Ron.
Hey,
don't.
You don't know him well enough. You don't know him well enough.
Do not.
Damien, you gonna let Ron trick you, Damien?
No.
Hey, Ron got a clean slate in my book.
Exactly.
No,
Ron still ain't gave that dude back his money.
Once you get around him, Damien, it'll get dirty real quick. I promise you that.
He said he a Hall of Famer. You want to talk to me?
Yo, football breakdown. Hit me on Instagram, hit the PC Twitter, hit the PC Instagram, whatever. Get a hold of me ASAP and you can pull up tomorrow. Anybody else that wants to become a Hall of Famer between now and tomorrow, you literally have 24 hours to join up as a Hall of Famer.
Ain't it?
I'll get you in. Mm-hmm. All right, Cowboy Bob sent through a follow-up super chat and said, I said it to @Chilltown on the Chill with Chill show when I was in Columbia about the tournament for the WNBA playing in college. How you forget, Chilltown? Also, no beef about Tibbs. It was your hate. It was your hate on the Knicks.
Mark, did I or did I not do a whole visual board presentation on Karl Anthony Towns and the flex offense?
You did do that.
How I was the one talking about the Knicks before the Knicks took off. I was the legitimate Ron, the Ron who predicted with evidence and like information. Jordan, why are you taking a picture of me? I didn't give you permission to do that.
Got him.
My bad, Swiper. I didn't know I couldn't take a picture of you, Swiper. Even though
which is bugged out to me, Jordan. That bugs me out when I see that people say, "Why you taking a picture of me? I didn't give you permission." Just so you know that these things right here, these are cameras right here. Like, and I use them every day. So are you telling me that I can't? Are you telling me that I can't look at you now?
Chill. People tend to think that it's illegal to take pictures of people or record videos of people, not knowing that it's not.
It is in some situations.
These are cameras.
In some situations, obviously, if you're in a bathroom, not. But if you're on a public street, I can do whatever I want with my phone.
Whatever I want.
You can be in your house, and I can be outside your house, and I can take a picture, and there's nothing you can do about it. How do you think paparazzi get it? How do you think paparazzi do that without getting sued?
They be hiding in the bushes.
Exactly, because it's not.
They the drenchies of the.
No, man, here you go. You always gonna throw me in it. You always gonna throw me in this shit.
You knew that was.
You always gonna throw me in it. That's a nice hat, by the way, Swipe. I really like it.
Shout out, bro. I tried to give him back, but my dog, man, he was like, "I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm rich. I'm good."
Is that what happened? Is that really what happened?
Check yes, literally definitional. Hey, bro, I gotta say, they were like, here's a bag of Jordan's crap. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, bro. Like, let me know when you want it. I'm rich. I don't need this.
That's not what I said. I just said it's cool. Don't worry about it.
You see all the shoes I get from these NBA teams, Swiper? Look at these. You ain't got these, do you, Swiper?
Got no shoes. What shoes I got from the NBA team? Boy,
you got those new 301s from Joker? Look at me.
They did send me them.
Shout out them 103s.
I guess they seen maybe I was talking trash about Joker. They said, hell no, we can't send that shit there. I don't know what happened. Kyrie's supposed to send me some too. I don't know what happened.
Kyrie's shoes is fire. I seen somebody the other day wearing. Actually, Dave was wearing them the other day. I was like, yo,
the Anta ones.
Yeah. I was
like, they were supposed to send me some too. I need to hit them back up. They told me they was gonna send something to me. They were so excited, and then I don't know what happened.
Jordan, you playing? You ain't. Matter of fact, I know you playing. You ain't finna be taking pictures and video too much longer, depending on who the picture of on the other side.
What are you talking about, brother?
They about to take away your right to be on a. That's about to be gone. That's about to be gone.
That's cap.
That's about something y'all know that I don't know.
I don't know what Swiper talking about.
That man, it's crazy time. Crazy time.
Yeah,
but I feel like that is irrelevant news, by the way. If you haven't tapped into that at all, like, with the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, that's very relevant, especially for us in media space. That's extremely relevant. So, shout out for sure. There's a lot of stuff going on.
All right. AKA Leroy ×2 said, if people don't think of Seattle Ray Allen, they don't know ball.
Was that Jesus Shuttleworth, Ray Allen?
No,
is Ray Allen from Boston? Chill. I thought I heard you say Ray Allen from Boston. He's from Boston or Connecticut?
No, he's from Connecticate.
Oh, okay,
he was from Connecticut.
Yeah. People will think of you. No,
he's actually his family was in his father was in the service, and he was living in South Carolina for a lot of years, and then he ended up going to UConn. So he's not from Connecticut. He was living down south, and he ended up going to play at UConn.
Anywhere but Seattle, for real.
Mars, I really thought you had a good time in Seattle. I thought you definitely tricked me. I thought you had a great time in Seattle. I thought the food was good. You looked like you were having a good time there.
Food was amazing, Mars.
We took you out a couple of times, Mars.
Against my will, but okay.
We took you out a couple of times, and you seemed to be having a really good time when we took you out. So you didn't seem to be against your will. So I'm really surprised, Mars, that you didn't have a good time in Seattle. I'm surprised.
Speaking of Jesus Shuttlesworth, next time you come out here, Mars, I'm finna give you that Jesus Shuttlesworth treatment. We gonna call you Mars Shuttlesworth. Don't worry, I got you, brother.
Yeah.
MTHJ 301 sent through actually a pretty good super chat. He said, "What if they only play during the summer, like the WNBA, before they go overseas during the NBA season? Pay the top guys, and they still play EuroLeague."
Interesting.
I think that's
So they get no
great
time
idea.
off.
That's what I was
They're just playing year round.
Well,
I
WNBA
mean,
players don't get time off.
if the money's right,
Yes, they do get time off. Caitlin Clark did not go overseas last year.
No, I'm
she
saying,
did
but
not.
if you play
played it-
overseas, like
well, it's she
Yeah,
didn't
if
do
you
it because
choose
she's
to,
Caitlin
yeah.
Clark.
Yeah.
But
I thought I was assuming it's an obligation. You just play both.
yeah,
WNBA
Obligation?
players choose. Yeah, WNBA
It's not-
players choose to go overseas.
Yeah, no, they choose to do it.
or
but
yeah.
they
playing
only play
unrivaled.
like 40, but they only play
Yeah.
they only play like
Yeah,
40
They,
games.
yeah,
though.
they choose to.
41 games, I think it is.
Yeah, they only
41
play
or 44
41 games.
they
That's
play.
why. Like, how much money are you supposed to get in 41 games?
Well, you only play like 40 games in the EuroLeague.
You talking about for the women? They play like 70 games in Europe.
Usually they play in two.
No,
different
the
leagues.
EuroLeague is like 40 games though. But you have your.
But they
domestic
play in their
leagues as well.
they play. I'm about to say they play
Yeah.
in their domestic league, so it's about 70 games though.
Okay, I feel you.
remember the biggest storyline of the last 10 years for like the WNBA pay scale thing was when Stewie tore Achilles. Remember Jordan? Tore Achilles. Where was she in Russia?
Yes.
Something like that. Like and she did it because of the
was playing for
bread.
Russia. Dynamo.
I mean, same thing with Brittany Griner. I mean, but they pay her a lot of money though. But my thing is for the WNBA, and I love the WNBA. You know, I'm pushing the WNBA league. In 41 games, how much money are you supposed to get paid?
As much as the market allows.
They supposed to get paid more than what they getting paid though, Jordan.
I think the max contract 200,000.
They supposed to be getting paid way more.
I do.
We're gonna act like you need to work a second job if you're making 200K.
Exactly. That's my
I
point,
don't-
Mark.
I don't-
That's my
Personally,
point. That's
Some
my
people,
personally,
point.
for
with
some
all that-
people, yeah. I don't know what your expenses are.
with all
I
that
don't know
traveling-
Mars. I don't know what your
If,
expenses are.
if you're making 200K and you need a second job, you are bad at handling finances.
Here's the thing though, Mars.
It's not a
Hey, if I'm making 200K, that's my side hustle. I'm gonna put it like that. That's my side hustle.
That's
But at the
fine,
same
but then
time,
don't act like you're
Ron,
not making enough. That's
You
Bro,
might
at the
not.
same time,
You
how
right,
many
Mars.
jobs-
What you're saying, you
200K
right.
is more than enough to live comfortably.
How
for
many
sure,
jobs?
it is.
So Kelsey Mitchell is currently
$260,000
making
for
269,000. So that's the
for
max
3
contract
months.
currently.
She paying for
Making
how
how
many
much?
jobs pay you that? for 3
April,
months?
May, June, July, August, September.
But remember,
Okay,
Anthony Davis said you can make it all within the
That's a lot of
season,
money.
or you can spread it out for the whole year.
6 months.
That's a lot of money.
How
WNBA
many
season
jobs
starts.
pay you that much for 6 months?
But that's
Training
not
camp
how that
starts in
worked, though,
April.
Jordan. It's not. You know
Man,
that's not
how
it
many
works.
jobs pay you that much for a year? 200K
because
is
the
gonna
same
get you
thing-
in what, the top 1%?
Yeah, but y'all, we can't compare the WNBA, a famous league that's on ESPN
basketball
and
league in the world,
in
yeah.
all these different
That-
channels.
that- with
We
no
can't
disrespect,
compare that
the
to
only-
somebody
the only
working as an
reason it's being
accountant.
The only reason it's being compared is because apparently they need a second job.
Right.
If you're making
No.
200K, you do not require a second job.
They get a
Okay.
smaller.
But it's not everybody that's
Yeah,
making
they
200K
get a
though.
smaller amount
A lot
of
of people are
share.
making 50, 60, 70, which
they're,
is still
they're asking for the
all
same
right,
share
it's
the
cool.
men get when
For
it comes
6
to the
months.
That's an
basketball
average
league.
income, isn't it?
But that doesn't work like that. Like
You
like,
do know
like,
70K
you-
is still enough to.
No,
live
it's
the life.
70K solid. I'm not saying it isn't. My thing is, you can't be mad at them for negotiating and
Oh, no,
bargaining
no, no,
what
no, no.
what
No,
they
no,
would
no.
like.
Some
You
of
want to
them are-
negotiate
no,
for as
I'm not
much
mad
money
at
as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I want to make our budget clear. I ain't hating on no one trying to get more money. I'm never gonna be anti get your money,
Right.
but don't act as if you can't survive on what you're making. That's what I'm
That's not
saying.
what the conversation is. though.
That's what I'm saying. If you're saying I need a second job, you're saying you can't support
That's
yourself
not why
with
they
your one.
do it though.
That's what you're saying.
It's the same. It's let me clarify to just for people that don't know. The reason they play in multiple leagues, and Ron and obviously Jordan can speak to this and show. The reason they play in multiple leagues is, and other people are just saying, because Jordan, you know, when you're an athlete, you got about a what 9 to 15-year window to maximize your income level. So for them, they're saying,
And
we're
it could be
making
less
two-
than that too, Swiper. I just want to
Right.
throw this out
Much
there.
less.
Yeah,
Injuries
especially
happen,
injuries, all
Yeah.
that
and
stuff,
some players just aren't as good.
Exactly. Unless you're Diana Taurasi,
you don't love rookie
Super,
contract, you might be out of the league.
yeah. So all that put together, and then especially in the rookie contract. Now, remember the rookie contract coming up for WNBA, they're going to make more than some of the players were making that are max contract because of the new CBA agreement with the WNBA. So the income is going up. The problem is that when you're playing in this point, and so say you're A'ja Wilson, for instance, or say you're Stewie, just start Stewie, you're making $200,000 a year. Or at the time, what was it, 180 or something
Plus
like that?
endorsements, not to mention.
Plus endorsements, but then she wanted to go to Russia. These people, I mean, some of these women, when they go overseas, they're making 500, 700, a million.
Some of them make millions. Some of them make 2 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Brianna Stewart, when she was playing in Russia, it's a reason why she went to Russia.
Right.
Probably getting 2 million.
You know, with all due respect to snowy ass Russia during the winter, I just spoke about conditions during the winter earlier in the show.
The WNBA is the side gig.
Yes, 100%.
How many years?
So hear me out. Back to our point earlier. About if the money is right, they will be going elsewhere. Is the WNBA not a very clear example?
Yeah, for sure.
The money is the reason why these people
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean 100%. But at the same time, Swiper, what you're saying, I'm not arguing against what you're saying. I agree with everything you're saying. I also think we have to add context to this. The WNBA is a growing league. They're growing, so that means they're trying to figure out income. They're trying to figure out what makes sense. They don't make a lot of money from the WNBA. Period. We know that. A lot of times they lose money from the WNBA. Period.
Just by profit, revenue.
Profit. Yeah, profit. Okay, there we go. Profit. So losing that, and plus the NBA team, NBA owners lose money a lot of times on just the NBA in general. But you got the other stuff, the interest of the fans, all of this stuff. They want rev shares for jersey sales and things like that. But realistically, do you think they going under for buying jerseys that nobody's buying? Do you think so?
Well, I think, so the difference is too. I want to make sure I was talking about this correctly because I don't want to just be up here yapping. So one of the issues is under the current CBA, WNBA player, and this is where their argument is, Jordan. And this, by the way, the same thing in U.S. women's soccer. It's the exact same thing that's happening. So under the current CBA, WNBA players, as of last year, make up 9.3% of the total league revenue. In NBA, the aggregate receive between 49% to 51% of NBA.
They just want more revenue.
So I think their argument not necessarily about like just the pure volume of money. It's about the share that we're getting from what the owners are also collecting off the revenue share. They're saying that we're
really collecting that much. If you lose it, you're not really collecting.
But the owners are absolutely making money on the revenue.
But what he's saying, like, no matter what, let's put numbers out there. I don't know how much the WNBA makes.
Just clarify.
Let's say
revenue,
the WNBA's revenue is 50 million.
Yes.
Their revenue is 50 million.
Yeah.
If the NBA revenue is 50 million, the players would get 25 million of that.
Revenue.
Not each, but that would be the revenue pot for the NBA players. The WNBA players would be getting 10%.
Yeah.
About 5 million. About 5 million. About 5 million. So they're saying we don't need to make as much as the NBA does. But if the NBA is making 50% of the league's revenue, the WNBA players should be making 50% of the WNBA.
And remember, Mars, revenue.
Which I agree with, by the way. I agree with that sentiment.
I don't agree with it right now. I don't agree with it right now because people are spending so much money to get the WNBA out of the hole. Nobody is spending that much money to get the NBA out of the hole.
But
that's why I don't agree with it right now.
I'm not talking about profit. We're talking about revenue.
Yeah, revenue is what you're.
The revenue is going to be the same regardless if the players are making more or not.
Yeah, revenue is like the positive. Like this is what you made this money. So we're saying of the money made now to Jordan's point, they probably have some stipulations in here from the ownership where they're paying money back. So therefore, there's like a smaller share. But the issue is the owners are still taking up a large majority of that for income. Then they're paying back to the NBA or whoever the shareholders are their portion. But then the women are like, they're settling with this. So the women are saying we should be incurring more of the revenue from the ownership side, meaning there needs to be a more equal split.
Slippery slope, though, man.
But Jordan, to be fair, that's the same thing that the NBA is doing. They make 51%. The owner, man, it used to be higher, by the way. It used to be higher. But then they concede on marijuana and some other nonsense like that. And then they'll be like, okay, we'll give you a % more of $7 billion. So you don't, so we can smoke some weed, which is crazy to me. But then what happens is that like, at least it's like 51 to 49. I'm not saying they got to be that, Jordan, but like 9% of the profit.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't need to be, but like 35%, 40%, whatever. Like 9% is insane.
I mean, 9%. We all agree. Yeah, they do gonna need a TV deal, but we all agree that it's. I feel like that's my point. Like, I also think it's bad now, but that's how everything is when you first form in the league. I feel like you got to give it some time. Like, just give it time. 20 years of a lot of downs. 20 years of a lot of downs.
The NBA in 1973 wasn't in a great place either. Like, if we were looking at relative, that was 25 years in, and guys still couldn't even be free agents. So like,
actually 30 years.
Yeah, so but the
W has arrived for a sports league. 25 years. The WNBA has arrived though. Like it or not, the WNBA is not only peaking right now, it is going this way, and it's going at a crazy slope too.
Yeah,
like the league
4 years ago, Ron. What about 4 years ago?
And so but that's what I'm saying. You can, as a business owner, you got to be able to look at where you are at, where you are, but also look at where everything's going. And my thing is that
look back in the future.
Yes, precisely. And I'm like, the NBA just signed a record-breaking, or the WNBA, $2.2 billion media rights deal for 2026.
And for somebody in the chat, LDog661 asked to look up what was the NBA. Go look up what the NBA was going through in 1983 in terms of CBA. So they did have a new CBA agreement in 1983. But what happened is, at this point in time, the agreed upon plan, the revenue sharing plan that was agreed upon, gave players 53% of the revenue. In Mars, the NBA started when?
1970s.
Was 76? Was it 76?
Well, that was the merger. The merger was 76. Okay, the merger was 76, 77.
So then that's what? 18, so 93, 83, 7 years. So 7 years after the merger, they were getting 53% of the rev. I'm saying that, like, chill. And you
were they getting 53 after 7 years, or was that later on?
No. They in the
1983, 7 years after the
they got 53%. But the profit, the bucket was obviously like $3 million.
Way smaller.
Yeah, it wasn't anything. What I'm saying now, though, is that, to Chill's point, it's been 30 plus years and they're still under 10%. What we would call that in a free market is a labor shortage. Like I'm actually like shorting the pot that is available to the labor workers, which in any other context would be,
exploitation.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is,
what's their percent? WNBA
9.3% as of last year.
That's disgusting. That's outright disgusting. And I'm gonna also take it a step further and tell you guys why this is nasty. Because the NBA, flourishing, one of the best businesses in the world. They have money on top of money on top of money, exposure on top of exposure, resources, all of this. If I have a growing product that I'm clearly seeing is booming and it's on its way to the moon, as a businessman, as an investor, as whatever you want to, as a parent company, your job is to nurture that product, put more money into it, give it more exposure so you can boost that up as much as possible. But
I think they just not sure yet.
Right quick, Jordan. This is not sure about what? They talk about going to Manchester and they not sure about the WNBA that's already established and popping, but you want to go over to London? That makes no sense to me at all. It makes no sense.
Jordan, you've been dating this girl for 10 years, yo. What's going on? You gonna marry her or what?
Yeah, they still be not sure after 10 years. They still not sure. Yes, I agree with you on what they're doing. I just think we just need to be patient. Like, I feel like they're trying to be patient to wait it out and see as well too. And I just think you just got to be patient with this. I don't think that I do agree that that's gross what they're doing, but I also think they're just trying to be patient.
But Jordan, don't you think there's a correlation though in American sports though, since this is such a wide topic, that this is such a common denominator among women's sports, is that there is a severe revenue in terms of a gap between the revenue in sports between soccer, like any other soccer, basketball, any of that. There is a massive gap in the amount of revenue that men are getting and then that women are getting. And I think that some of that does come from like the age of the leagues, because women's league and all that stuff started like relatively in the last 30-40 years and all that stuff.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is, in this instance, like Jordan, my biggest argument for why this is such an issue is the U.S. women's soccer team. They have consistently made less of the revenue in from U.S. soccer than the men, and they have been by far the much better program.
Swiper, let me play devil's advocate. Maybe at what time was the WNBA peaking? Probably when the comments No, I'm talking about before that. Like,
well, the comments when the comments
the early and mid 2000s, is that when it was?
Yeah,
I mean, because the comments was running the comments was running.
They won three straight championships.
4.
And then who won after that?
Four. Okay,
4 straight.
It's not the point.
Who broke that up?
It's not the point.
Who broke that up, Ron?
And then what happened to the league?
Ron, he's making a point. He's making a point.
Okay, but what happened to the league after that?
The league we did see some attendance go down. That did happen.
No, we saw it drastically go down. So that's what I'm saying. That's what they're trying. Like, I get what Ron's saying as far as them being like on the up and up. They saw the league on the up and up, and then they saw it dip. Now, I don't agree that holding the rev share is the bargain between it. I don't agree that should be the end all be on that. But I'm just saying, just be patient, and I think the money will be there. Now, for Swiper point, me playing devil's advocate. What is the owner's argument for why they don't want to do it, other than you think that they just want to do this? It has to be a legitimate argument to why they don't want to do it.
It's because the league's been running at a loss. That's why.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the devil's
Jordan.
advocate.
See, Jordan. That part right there goes way over my head because we're dealing with a bunch of smart people here, right? We're dealing with a bunch of smart people. There's no way that I'm running a viable. There's no way that I'm a businessman who knows how to run a viable business like the NBA, and I still got my hands in a business that's been running for 30 years, and every year we running at a loss. That's not happening. Somebody's getting paid here. Somebody's just not.
I mean, chill. I'm not buying that logic. No, chill. To be fair, you got to buy it because NBA owners lose money sometimes. A lot of times they lose money.
So not every NBA team is profitable every year.
Yeah, so like it's the same.
Not every year though, Mars. But for 30 years, we're at a loss. That's not good business. For 25 years,
chill. Yes, it is.
We're in the black.
Chill. It is good business.
You never know.
And Ron, before you go, because I just want people to understand this, because this is where Ron and I think, are able to speak to, and Jordan, to modern terms. The NCAA, there's only really 2 programs, Ron, that are in the clear: football and basketball. Nobody else makes money. Nobody else makes money. Like and by the way, one of the only, like, if you look at NCAA women's basketball, Mars, UConn, Old Tennessee, Notre Dame,
South Carolina,
Stanford, South Carolina, they make money. Too. Yeah, but this is like but we're talking about maybe Baylor, LSU, 12.
Yeah, there's a lot more. There's a lot more
of 120 FBS programs plus the FCS program, which is another 120. So 240 women's basketball teams that play D1, only about 12% of them make any money. All of the other programs are making money based on the football and basketball program. Guess what? But the way they pay,
allocate money to
they still get the money does get reallocated to them. But the other thing is too, but that's what I'm saying. They're making money off the back of something. This is the larger point, by the way. So let me finish this point. The NIL, they are still paying these women on these teams that are not turning a profit because they know it's profitable to be represented by women that are on these programs, even if the team is losing money. So my whole counter argument for that, well, if the league is losing money, then how can you pay the players a higher revenue share? Then what I'm saying is, on the other side of that, we are already seeing in the NCAA, they've been doing this for decades, and these women have never made money, yet they're still some of the most popular sports at their institution, and they're still profitable in the net sense because they bring credibility to the school. My whole thing now is that the WNBA is not making money, but they are still in the clear because connected to the NBA, the WNBA is still a profitable brand. It just doesn't bring in money to the same degree as the NBA does. But there is actually no loss they're facing because the NBA is not going to let the WNBA fail. So what I'm saying is, in this instance,
I mean, so there is a loss. The NBA is really,
but I'm saying, but Jordan, I guess what I'm saying is, like, UConn, there is no loss if that UConn football makes more money than UConn women's basketball. And like, if I have to use UConn football to pay for certain things, it's still UConn basketball. They're still bringing in a lot of value to the school. I think that value. Hold on, Jordan. What I'm saying in this instance is, my issue is you can still have a larger revenue share for WNBA basketball players, and that doesn't take away from the profitability of the league. It's just the owners aren't making as much money as they were previously, and the players are now having their incomes more fairly represented of the work they're doing. Jordan, I mean, honestly, bro, if they move to a 20% profit share. So now if they, instead of 9%, right, they do 20% profit share. Now the max contract goes from $269 to essentially $535,000 a year. That's like more than fair for what they're doing.
No, but it's also NBA players who don't make that much money for half the season.
Who NBA players for
$100,000?
Wait, what? No one makes $500,000 in NBA anymore.
On the two-way, they're not doing that.
They're not full contracts though. These are full contracts in WNBA.
Swiper, they play
41
games.
Jordan's point is they play half a season of games.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's a stipulation. Remember, you have the Exhibit 10. You have two-way deals. Like those are stipulations within the CBA on how you're actually represented within the NBA salary cap. So yeah, you will always have that stuff. But to be fair, Jordan, we also don't have all fully guaranteed contracts in the WNBA. So like I'm assuming these are fully guaranteed WNBA players.
That's why, but that's why.
But also those are max contracts, Jordan. And if you ask me, Asia Wilson should be making more. But Asia Wilson to me should be making more money than a two-way player in the
100% should be.
Like that's still like that's not.
She should be making more money than a bench player in the NBA.
Y'all can disagree
with me.
I just want to make sure.
There's no way Asia Wilson should be making more money than Malik Monk.
Y'all could disagree. Ain't
nobody saying that. He's not saying that. But no.
Ron just said he thinks she should. So run it.
No. Wait.
Malik's making what? 18.
What she is to that league trumps what Malik Monk is to his team.
Yes. Asia Wilson is a better WNBA player than Malik Monk is an NBA.
Yes, no
but
question
then
about that.
saying that she deserves to make more money than Malik Monk, that's what you.
While playing half the season,
I don't want to say the word deserves, but like you get what I mean.
Put that back on
last night for me is evidence of that. So that Valkyrie team, they play in San Jose, which is where the Sharks play. In the hockey team, they don't play in the Chase Center where the Warriors. They play in San Jose. But I'm watching that, and I'm watching. There's not a seat in the house. Ron, we're not operating at a loss here. Somebody's getting paid for this. This is no way that we're operating at a loss when we got.
Depends on if they sold the tickets for $10 for nothing. If they sold the tickets for $10, yeah, somebody take a loss.
But we're not doing that today. The people that sitting in the front row are not sitting in the front row for $30. That's not happening.
They sit in the front row for $120. They're not sitting in
the front row for a little bit of money.
For $120, they sit in the front row. And what league can you survive where $120? Well, tickets $120 sitting in the front row. What league can you survive?
A league that's under the NBA.
No,
that's why.
But that's what y'all are getting caught up on. Y'all are looking at somebody else's pockets and saying you can pay this.
Jordan. I'm not. No. This is not two separate entities. The NBA is the umbrella. That's Jordan. That's like my wife. I can't pocket watch my wife. I'm taking care of my wife. What? You are my wife. We are in unison. You are me. We are a household.
Hold on, Ron, because you said the WNBA is the NBA wife. That's where I disagree with you. The WNBA is the NBA's fifth wife. That's what it is. They fifth wife.
Jordan. No, it's not.
It is.
NBA
this is the NBA's most valuable asset.
Number one. Yeah,
that is over the G League. Over the G League too. It is. The WNBA is more valuable to the NBA than the G League is. Now I know obviously the G League is the farm system, but the NBA the NBA don't need the G League.
And by the way, the NBA, the WNBA,
and the WNBA is more profitable than the G League.
The WNBA revenue, just for context for the audience, the WNBA revenue has doubled since 2019 from $102 million to $200 million in just, what is that? At this point, 5 years. So then, Jordan, let's do another 5 years. Caitlin, obviously, eventually we get old girl from USC when she gets fully healthy. Or Juju, like we're the league. But I'm saying if they're turning, hold on, Jordan. If you're turning a $200 million and $300 million rev share. But then, to be fair, Jordan, what they also are doing, which is also subsidized by the NBA, more than likely, by the way. Remember, they added a $50 million additional bonus for flights and care and just general player stuff for the players and everything. But overall, they're improving the crop. But Jordan, you know this. The better you take care of the athletes, the better the product gets. That's just the way it works. I think in this situation, though, Jordan, I think. It still would not be feasible for them to be getting at least double the profit share that the revenue share they're currently getting based on where things are, and especially where the projections are, especially with the new TV deals that are about to hit for the WNBA as well.
I do. And this is what I'm saying. And Damian, to your point, they are going to get their money. I'm saying just be patient because that's what they're trying to see in this business. We've seen a lot of ups, downs, we've seen a lot of trends, and then we've seen a lot of things go negative. We seen trends in the WNBA, and then we seen a massive dip. The whole thing that people are fighting against, and not for us, because we love sports, we love basketball. People are fighting against normal people's logic. A lot of people don't just want to watch that in general. That we're trying to get people to watch women's sports in general. Basketball is one of the things. So that's what they're fighting against. So we looking on the outside and saying, how can we make people get more eyes on the WNBA? While we doing that, you got a bunch of people complaining, we need more money, we need more money. And it's like, hold on, slow down. We agree. We want to give you some money. We're trying to fix the infrastructure problem. That's the problem they're trying to fix. So if you just be patient, I feel like they will get there. That's my whole thing. Just be patient.
Before we move on, I do just want to say this about the owners not making money and not being profitable. I'm going to give you guys the ultimate example, especially as a owner, not just a business owner, as somebody who is a owner. So for the people out there who own houses, you do know that year after year, your homes appreciate, right? Mm-hmm. You are losing money every single year with your house. Why? Because you have to pay electricity bills. You have to pay the garbage bills. You have to invest in the house. If you break a window, you have to pay the money for the window to get broken. You might have to pay a plumber. You might have to get new carpet. You might have to pay for a new roof. Year after year after year, you are losing money out of your pocket that you're investing in your house. But you know what happens? 20 years later, when you sell your house that you bought at $100,000, well, let's say $200,000, when you sell it for $500,000, you know what you did? You got everything back. You got all the rent that you put into it, plus more. We do understand that the Celtics just sold for what? $3 billion? $2 billion?
No, it was like
$4.
Yeah.
More
About
than
the
that.
Lakers.
$4 billion? The Lakers just sold for $7 million? How much did they buy it at?
Go on. I think Magic Johnson in the 90s was getting paid $2 million. How long did it take for the NBA to start giving out crazy bread?
Well, Jordan started getting 30 M's in the 90s.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Magic Johnson got given a 25-year contract.
That is a crazy contract.
He was still getting paid on that championship team that Kobe had with Pau Gasol.
Yes, but I'm just saying, Magic Johnson, golden child, golden boy. And now we just talking about Magic Johnson. I'm not talking about Craig Hodges. I'm not talking about Craig Hodges. I'm talking about Magic Johnson. Because Craig Hodges said his contract was crazy trash. He said that was trash what he was getting paid. How long did it take for them to get money? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Just be patient.
No. That's not the same. No.
Yeah, I'm not.
By the way, Jordan, you keep putting yourself in a hole because you're getting confused.
Why is that not the same?
Because you're getting not confused. Let me clarify. You're talking about salary total reflective of the NBA salary cap. The difference is, I agree with you that as the NBA grew, salaries grew. Sure. I'm saying in this instance, as the WNBA is growing, the salaries are not growing proportionally. Because if the WNBA revenue has doubled in 5 years, but salaries haven't doubled in those 5 years. But we're not asking for that either. I'm saying that like all that needs to happen is there just needs to be a larger revenue share from 9% to at least 18, 20% for the players that are actually doing the work. No, hold on. But Jordan, Magic making $2 million on a 25-year contract, or Scottie Pippen on a forever contract that was horrible. Like that's a different situation in the amount of money they actually could make based on where the team salary cap was. I'm not asking for them to make, or AJ Wilson to make $2 million of $3 million that the team has available. I'm saying AJ Wilson needs to be making 20% of what's available on that for the whole cap. It should be the same thing for like Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard's making 35% of the Bucks salary cap based on what he's done in the NBA. Based on what she's done in the NBA, if the salary cap chill is $5 million,
he should be making how much?
Well,
if the salary cap is $5 million, how much should AJ Wilson
she should be in the 30s. Yeah, she should be in the 30s. I'm saying she.
So you're saying she be making
just
20% of $5 million.
That playoff game tonight to sit on the floor, on the floor at that Vegas game.
In Vegas?
In Vegas. To sit on the floor. That's the bench right there. This is the floor right here. Ron, I got to come up with 1,700.
Yeah, like
chill.
Somebody's getting paid.
Chill. Don't use that because that's not even 1% of the season. What about the other 41 games?
Well, clearly the playoffs, the ticket prices are going to go up. That's going to happen during the playoffs.
1,700.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell me?
How much is it on day 1 or day 15 in the NBA?
Okay, But I can tell you what it's not. It's not $100. I can tell you it's not $100.
$250. Cheers, probably $250.
Okay, even if it's $250, you know what we're not doing? We're not asking for $5 million a season. We're not asking for $25 million a season. No, we're not asking for that. But what we are asking for is a fair share, is a fair revenue, is fair what's going on with the revenue. We're asking for that. Because if I look at what's going on in the NBA, to sit at the Laker game in January when Giannis Antetokounmpo come to town, it's probably 10 stacks to sit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Which is why you can afford to pay LeBron James $50 million. So
exactly.
Which is why you can afford to pay him $50 million. So for example, Indiana, to sit on the floor, I think I told you this earlier, Swiper, to sit on the floor when Caitlin Clark was playing in Indiana, to sit on the floor was like $400. That's not no little bit of money in the WNBA to sit on the floor for $4 million for people who are not asking for $8 to $10 million.
This is where the debate goes.
But what I am asking
you saying not a lot of money. You saying it's a little bit of money in the WNBA. I'm saying in general for business. That's what we're talking about for business in general. That's not a lot of money for what y'all trying to do.
It's a little bit of money according to the NBA, but it's not a little bit of money in the WNBA, especially what you guys are making. To Swiper's point, when revenue is doubled, if revenue is doubling, my cut should absolutely go up than what it is right now.
I think it
will. Them owners can run that.
I think it will. I think it will.
And I'm not. And I think the difficult part
they
can
run
Jordan is.
No. But Jordan, I think
Jordan, they can run that. The valuation, and the reason why I gave this house example, once again, let's say that the WNBA players are just the rent that you pay. You pay the rent. You're not paying the rent. Like, obviously, you want to live in your house and whatnot, but the goal of a homeowner is for your equity to go up in your house. So when you sell it, you get paid back everything and more.
Do you still have that attitude when the house market crashed? Do you still have that attitude, or do you just be patient and wait?
Yes, you be patient and wait.
But exactly, that's what I'm pointing. Exactly.
No. But they've been waiting 30 years.
But Jordan, that's not the point that
the league ain't been trending for 30 years though.
But the
league has went through a lot of ups,
and the
a lot of
NBA
downs
also has not always been
fact.
trending
That's a
upward
fact, Jordan.
either. That's what doesn't make sense. So Jordan, I guess what I'm trying to point to you is that even in the low years, the players were still receiving more than a 50% profit share of the revenue in the low years in the NBA. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like that, like it didn't change. That's all I'm saying, Jordan. I don't. And again, it doesn't have to be 50, but 9 is inexcusable.
I said that. I said that it is inexcusable. I just said just be patient and the money's gonna come. They're like, no, now. I'm saying be patient. Let them figure out.
They should be pressing the issue now. I'll be pressing my issue now too.
When is it?
It would have to be
this summer,
right?
It's this summer. There could be a lockout.
Jordan, if not now, then when? 7 years?
I would say 7 years.
October 31st.
Push your line right now. Them owners got that bread, and the NBA got the bread too.
But that's why. But Jordan, that's why they're wearing
7
the
years
shirts
would be fine because they can get more money in 7 years once they prove that in 7 years we did great. This is what we can do in 7 years.
Push your line now and push your line in 7 years.
But to Marge's point,
more in 7 years.
I'm sorry.
Let's say they give them that. Okay, let's say they give them that bread, and in 7 years,
Marge's
work.
earlier point,
back on bread.
the difference between the W and the NBA and why you can't play with these women, because as Marge said earlier, and as Ron corrected me on, guess what, Jordan? Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Caitlin Clark, all them. We don't have to play. I can go to Russia. I can go to Saudi. I can go to whatever.
They have their own league.
Wait.
Swiper, they have their own league.
All I'm saying is they can. No, because Jordan, 2 seconds, my brother. 2 seconds. I'm not trying to battle you. I'm just trying to make a clarifying point. I think it's important for the context. They can. This CBA's up on the 31st, Jordan. Mm-hmm. If they don't come to an agreement they feel comfortable with, they have the ability to say the biggest stars in the league, we're not playing. We will be overseas. When you want to get right, we'll be back.
It will crumble their league.
Swiper. They're not even going overseas. They just started a league called Unrivaled. Unrivaled will trump the W. Let the WNBA play. All right, Jordan. Let the W. They just got a $340 million investment just this year.
Okay,
and they played 1 year.
Okay,
all right, Jordan.
Unrivaled is only how many months out the summer? I mean, out the offseason, how long is Unrivaled?
They're getting paid more in Unrivaled than in the WNBA.
Okay, so good. I'm glad you brought that
for
up.
what you just said. The months they're getting paid more.
Okay, how long?
And they own it, and they have equity in it.
Okay, how long will that last?
What do you mean?
Well, if it continues to get it continues to get better, it's going to expand, just like the WNBA.
First of all, hold on. First of all, what is the branding for the rival league?
What do you mean? What's the
well?
brand?
They clearly got
what is the marketing and branding from the rival league? The WNBA, the WNBA players, the WNBA players. Correct.
I see what Jordan's point is that the WNBA got the NBA to back them. What does Unrival have to back them? That's what Jordan's point is. But I mean, if the product is good, like anything, I think like anything, if the product is good,
the product good in WNBA. We saw the product good in WNBA, and it still went through a crash.
But isn't that with any business? Because we saw the same thing in the 70s with the NBA, right? We saw them; it wasn't that good. We had a drug-infested league where players were making a lot of money, and people didn't care about that. So the same thing's going on in the same thing was going on in the WNBA. Not necessarily drugs to that point, but the product wasn't as good. So it was this way. Now it's this way. We're trying to get to a point where we can have something that's legit. Now, to Mars's point, the labor agreement is up now. So with the labor agreement being up, we have the ability to go in to Swiper's point and go, yo, this 9% isn't enough. And I'm not saying that we need to be making $40-50 million a year, but this 9%, you have to do something with this. This is not good enough.
I agree with that, but even then, they tried to give them more. Look, they even tried to give them more money as far as salary. Like, regardless of what y'all want to say, rev share or salary, they still tried to give them more money and say, hey, we're not willing to do this right now, but we're willing to give you more money. They said no.
Because the rev share is always important. It's always going to be more important.
Yes, but but this is what I'm saying. If they would have took this deal now, today, in 7 years, they can come back. They give them more money.
Where does this 7-year number
hold on, because
usually how long the CBA lasts.
So this is what I'm saying, Swiper. This is what I'm saying, Swiper. They even saying we'll substitute this for now. We will give you more base guaranteed salary. We will give you that.
No,
we can, and they said no. So you're willing to go through I wouldn't, because you're willing to go through a lockout where you're not going to survive.
Because what happens is if I agree to a increase in just money, say $50,000, right? If I agree to a $50,000 increase across the league, that is still a minimal percentage of what the actual revenue share is. So that means I'm locked for the next 7 years on a $50K bonus that won't change. It's the same in 2025 as it would be in 2032. That's like bad business overall. That would be extremely problematic.
It's bad business if you don't hold the leverage. They don't have the leverage.
They do have. They're the players.
They're the players. Always have leverage.
They're the players that can go overseas, and they literally have their own league that's popping.
You know what? Okay, but you know what the NBA?
Jordan, why don't they have the leverage?
Because you know what the WNBA. I'm about to answer your question. I'm about to answer your question. You know what the WNBA is saying? Go. That's why they're not willing to bend over backwards.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
If they go into a lockout, what are they doing? What is the WNBA saying if they go into a lockout?
It's actually the players going into the lockout.
That's the way that ownership works.
That's agreeing not to do it.
It's the same thing in 2011 in the NBA.
I just want to make sure I'm following you.
The owners aren't locking out. The players are locking out.
Okay, if the WNBA owners and players have agreed, this is not the deal that we want. What are they actively saying?
The NBA, they have no product without the players, though. They're saying that but that's how Jordan. But when you have strikes in real life, this is real life, but I'm saying real life, like blue collar workplaces, like they strike against like the ownership / management, and then they said we're not working until you up our it's not percentage for them. It's just simply like salary increase. They say we're not working for however long they need to be. Now they're actually suffering unless you're extremely organized and you plan for like 6 months to a year, which is what you're supposed to do. But like in this instance, they will hold out and business will fail because you're going to lose more money not
what
paying.
Business will fail though?
This has happened multiple times. It's happened in Detroit with the motor industry. They literally said like we're not working, and at some point businesses got so bad.
Ox is saying it too. I don't think the WNBA players have as much leverage as you. That's what I'm saying. They don't have the leverage.
But they have the same amount of leverage NBA players though. NBA can
no, they do not. No, they do not.
They literally were all summer playing amongst each other. That was the summer where they
have a LeBron James.
The WNBA
they got Asia Wilson. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Asia Wilson to LeBron James is not even comparable.
That's not, bro. That's the
best
player.
No. Swipe.
You out your mind.
I'm not.
I don't think WNBA players have as much leverage as NBA.
You are out your mind, Swiper.
No. What you're missing is not. It's not about comparing LeBron and Asia in a vacuum. What I'm saying is that Asia Wilson, Fee, and all these players have so much cachet with their league that if they don't play, the value of the league goes down precipitously. So them not playing
can't
would
just
be a
replace
detriment
them.
to the league.
You can't.
You're right.
One of the main reasons why
is what they're trying to do. And it's not gonna work. That's what I'm saying. Y'all think is what y'all saying is replace WNBA with Unrivaled. And I'm saying without no WNBA, there's no Unrivaled. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I disagree with that though, Jordan. They've already got it off. Their league has popped the last 2 years. And on top of that, let's say that the WNBA goes into a lockout. It's gonna be a big thing. People are going to know that these players that are in this lockout are over there. They're going to be over there protesting, striking, doing whatever they're going to do. They're going to be going viral for that. I'm saying that to say it is the media era. It is the social media era. It is the camera era. There's cameras everywhere. They don't like they can use the money the funding that they've got to market themselves, promote themselves, and get their. I think their league's already on TV. So they're on,
$350 million is not that big to do what you're trying to do though. To be fair,
they're still going to be on TV. They're still going to be on TV. They're still going
to take money away from the players. If they got to do all of that, what you ask them to do, they're going to have to take money from the players.
Jordan, they're already on TV. They already have social media. They already they're in terms of marketing and exposure. They already got that.
But to Jordan's point, it's not like the machine of the NBA though. No,
it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
And once they take that machine away, they're gonna take money away from the players in the rival league.
And you know what else is gonna take money away from? The owners. So it's like, do y'all want to fork this up or not? Do y'all want to continue to ride this investment? They're not losing money. Jordan, the valuation, I gave you the home example for a reason. The ownership, the amount of money that you have, equity in this entity, it went up 180% on average. That's not talking about the good teams. The good teams probably went up like 400%. So I'm saying like these owners, they'll paint it like they're not making money. They are making money. If this team is valued at
in the red, so how are they in the red? How has the WNBA been in the red for the last?
I got a lot of stories to tell you about in real life when we went in the red and the owners are getting off very nice. Yeah, that happens all the time every day.
I mean, it's not even not necessarily about the owners. I'm just saying I don't understand. No, it's a fact that they're in the red. That's not
but being in the red doesn't mean that you're losing money.
There's ways you can. That's what I'm saying, Jordan. That's a whole conversation. I don't want to get sidetracked.
It is. But my whole point, and I don't want to get sidetracked because my whole point is, I think the WNBA players will get their money. I just think you have to be patient because owners themselves is a little iffy because we've seen highs and lows in this game, and that's all I'm saying. To play devil's advocate, like to what they tried to do is they said we will give you more money. We will give you more money because this is what y'all crying about, more money. But we can't give you the share, and to be fair, y'all do business too. We do business in general. We understand that this is how this works. No, you can't give me what I'm asking for, but I will boost your salary up just a little bit more to hold you over. Now, after 7 years, we have timestamps. We did this for y'all, this for y'all, this for y'all. We need this. We see more Asia Wilson jerseys. We see more Sabrina jerseys. We see more Napheesa jerseys. We see more revenue from WNBA in general. Now we can say, after all this time, and they gave us money to hold us over, hey, we can't accept this no more. Let's come back to the table and negotiate. And I think they will be more willing to negotiate. That's all I'm saying.
First off, I just want to, because I feel like there's a lot of, and I mean, I don't mean Jordan, because Jordan, I think you're making salient points for you. But there's a lot of like very misogynistic comments being made in the chat right now. And Kareem just sent a super chat that said you can share it if you want, but he basically 9% of the revenue share in a failing league is more than enough, which Jordan is not arguing, by the way. He didn't say that at all. He didn't say that one time. He then said they have no leverage. No one wants to see ungrateful people, unathletic people play basketball. I just want you to know
that's crazy, Kareem.
I don't agree with
that's cap because people been asking to see me play basketball for a very long time. So that's cap. I can attest.
This is what I'm talking about. Jordan, sure. I think from a fiscal standpoint, you're making the most salient argument for why you don't increase the revenue share. What I'm saying is Jordan, not Jordan, because Jordan is not doing it because he actually knows basketball and he's fair. These people that are on the other side of this camp saying players don't deserve more money, they're doing this because they legitimately think these women don't have a valuable product and that they're not athletes to the same degree as NBA players. I'm saying in this instance, Jordan, I can get with you on the time. My issue is if you're a worker, like conceding in a business that's based on revenue increase to a simple monetary amount, like from a dollar standpoint, that's typically a loss historically. If that makes sense, like typically if I take 15 or $200 more a month, and then 7 years goes, like, and then the revenue has gone up so much, at that point I'm being like stalemated again. You know, by the time we get a year out from this contract, and I'm saying I think they're trying to have
you had a loss. You had a loss.
Yeah, I think they're trying to look.
Agree with that.
They're trying to look at a long-term perspective and say, if I take $50 now, bro, by the time we get to year 2, that $50 is gonna be like bad money. I'm gonna be pissed off every day going to work.
I agree with what you're saying. I don't have no. My only pushback is that's just how business works. When it comes down to signing that paper, it's about the leverage, and the leverage comes with the fame of the league. In this sense, the leverage is gonna come with the fame of the league, the products that's being put out there, and what's sought after. And that's why the WNBA ownership is holding the leverage right now. I don't think they will end up holding it in 7 years if they end up getting Juju Watkins, if they end up getting Caitlin Clark on this. Like, Caitlin Clark is not playing right now, too. That's like they end up getting all of these different players. I think that's when they'll have the. That's why I said just be patient and hold on. But what the WNBA players are trying to do, the business part, it's like you betting on yourself a little bit too early right now. And that's what on my only pushback to this. They betting on themselves a little bit too early.
All right,
and
fellas.
That's why they gave him more money. What they gave him, Ron, $250,000 base salary. They say they give you $250.
Yeah, that's the max. Yeah, that's the max.
They're trying to give you that. So that's all I'm trying to say is wait. Y'all gonna be in a position to say, nah, not doing that, gang. Not all right now. They not.
Jordan, when I come to you about some money, about your deal you got with me, you just better know.
I ain't got no deal without you.
You finna get 304. You finna get 304, my dog.
I ain't got no deal with you, but
304 is crazy.
I'm Drench man, not the French man, Ron. So ain't nobody gonna do that to me, brother. Hey, price going up for everything. Hold on now. Slow
all right, so Mind Goblin said, "Can we please change the topic?"
It's stuff like this, Ron, that really, because, like, can we please change the topic? Just so you know, women's pro basketball is a part of basketball, and we talk basketball up here, and this stuff matters. Yeah. We care about this subject. Stuff. You might not care about it because of the way you act, just because of that super chat right there. I care about this stuff, and we want to talk about this stuff.
To be fair, we did talk about it for 45 minutes.
And you know what else we talked about?
Hey, guess what? It's better than arguing about is LeBron a quitter or not.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. But it's not like he sent that super chat the moment.
Or I gotta hear, or Mars, I gotta hear about somebody yelling about other people's standard for another player they don't agree with for 48 minutes. Like, yes. I don't enjoy no conversation at all. I feel like I learned. I think Jordan got some great points. Ron was your now, Mars, can you see this? That was the best job Ron has done involved in a conversation in months. He didn't troll the whole time.
Asia Wilson should make more than Malik Monk.
Yeah, Ron is out of his mind with the Asia Wilson.
Other than that, Ron was fine. I think everyone was fair. And I think you guys pretty much agree. Jordan agrees that WNBA players should make more money. He's just saying it should probably be in 2032. Swipe is saying it should be now. I'm listening to everything. I don't know. I'm probably, like I said, I'm always on the side of
9%
negotiate for as much money as you can. I'm always going to be on that side. But realistically, are the WNBA players going to get what they're asking for, which is a pretty close revenue split with the NBA? No. Are they going to get somewhere in the middle? Probably. But Swiper, you said something about and maybe you were just talking about Team USA, their national football team, soccer team, whatever.
Yeah, the soccer.
But like, I know, for example, the women in the Women's World Cup make a larger percentage of revenue than the men.
They do, which is what
they
make
less.
And
they still make less.
Yeah, they still make less because the WNBA, not the WNBA, the Women's World Cup makes a lot less than the Men's World Cup does. But I know for certain the men get a lower percentage of the revenue.
In the US, that was the sticking point, is that the men were making a larger share, more money always, making a larger share, and they suck, and they've been sucking for 30 years. Okay. So that was where the sticking point came from.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, since Mind Goblin wants us to change the topic.
Help. I'm not going to lie to you, bro.
Since Mind Goblin wants to change the topic, and since Kareem needs some help, I got the perfect thing for both of them. It is Factor Meals. Now, if your mind isn't working like the Goblin, or if you just are sick and need to get well like Kareem, this is just the place to do it, right here at Factor Meals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, between busy schedules and fall plans, sometimes you've only got a couple minutes. But Factor Meals helps me Ron, the Dub host, eat smarter with tasty chef-prepared meals that are dietitian approved, and the best part about it is, it's delivered right to my front doors. Same for Mars in Manchester. And now with more than 65 weekly menu options made for how I live and how I want to eat, I've got more ways to stay fit and eat real meals whenever I want to and wherever the day takes me. Factor meals, they have more variety and they have more meals. They support my wellness goals. They have global flavors that I can savor, from Asian-inspired meals to London fish and chips. They got everything. China, Thailand, and more. More choices for better nutrition, and that's why 97% of customers say that Factor Meals has helped them live a healthier lifestyle. They feel the difference no matter what their routine is. So be like me, be like Mars, be like Big Ox, be like Chilltown, and get Factor Meals right now. Eat smart at factormeals.com/PlayersChoice50 off and use code PlayersChoice50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code PlayersChoice50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your doorsteps with Factor. All right, fellas, let's get into some of these crunch time chats, and then we are going to talk about the WNBA games from last night, Kareem.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going to talk about Trae Young. Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, we definitely going to get to that, and then we'll get to some other things too. But Cowboy Bob said, "Chill with chill today?" ? I'm so in there. WNBA talks, and I will show y'all another way to save the league. I said it can make 4 times as much off my idea. So also stroll $100 giveaway and AirPods. Go New York, go.
He came up with this idea that he already talked about. If you debunk his logic of Jordan averaging 40 a game, he's gonna give you $100. Yeah, in the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
In the chat, it was $100 and a new set of AirPods if you debunked his idea. So we'll see.
Who determines if it's debunked? Him?
Yes.
That just sounds like a scam.
It sounds like a straight scam because he could just be like,
if he determines if he's debunked or not, he's just gonna be like, nah. And then what?
But he is a stand-up dude because he came on Fluent and Chill, and me and Tone shut his idea down, and he was like, all right, I got you. So he wants to see if maybe somebody in the chat. So he is a stand-up dude. Yes, he is.
No, shout out to Cowboy Bob for sure.
Mm-hmm. We ultimately shut it down, but
Cowboy all right. Bob is I got another super chat from Mike the Champ, a members chat. Mike said, "Hey, how many debates I gotta win to get in the PCL?" Mike,
one. How about that? How about the one in the PCL you gotta win? How about that one?
The tryout. And yeah, Mike, I told you the time. You keep sending through super chats. You keep sending through regular chats. You keep saying, "Ron, sign me up." Mike, you are invited. Tomorrow at 12, you have my number. You got my email, Mike. If you want to join the PCL, you have an invitation. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Kareem NYK sent through another super chat and said, "If they want to be equal so bad, put the WNBA, oh my God, into the NBA. Let's see how skilled they are then. To me, they don't deserve more pay."
It sounds extremely uneducated and dumb.
Oh my goodness, man!
I think legitimately these are the people that y'all be listening to on a lot of these podcasts and whatnot. These red pillars, incels, lames, all these other people.
In what?
I was lames, incels, red pillars, all this stuff. I will say this. I wanted to shout out Sydney McLaughlin. Ron, I think you know who Sydney McLaughlin, yeah. LeBron, respect to her husband. Uh-huh. She just set the second highest ever 400-meter time in the 400 for women.
It was what, 47-38?
It was under 48, which is insane. In the rain, by the way.
47-38, I think.
Also, I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if you know this, Ron. She's not a 400-meter runner. She's a 400-meter hurdles runner. This woman is the greatest hurdles runner ever. She's so much further along than anyone else that's ever touched the sport. She's been doing it since she was 16 years old. I'm talking about like breaking records to this degree. She's so much better than anyone that's ever tried the 400-meter hurdle. She's the Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky of the 400.
She might be better than them, Swiper.
She's crazy.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. She might
she
really
ran
be.
the 4x2. She ran the 4x2 in the Olympics and dusted. Bro, she ran the 4x1 before, bro. She's legitimately one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen in my life, Joe.
Yeah, she's ridiculous.
Shout out to Miss McLaughlin. She from Jersey, by the way. My niece goes to the same high school she went to, Union Catholic.
Fire.
Yes, absolutely. She's from Jersey. She's incredible. 100%. She's incredible.
Styles Blackman sent through a super chat. Yo, Styles, I reached out to you on Twitter. You doing good? You all right? I know you're going through some things over there, but it'll be all right. It'll be okay. Styles Blackman said, this will be the last year they lose money. The new TV deal kicks in next season. Now is the time for them to get their bread. The old deal was $13 million, and the new one is going to be, 2.2? From $13 million to $2.2 billion?
How we doing that?
Yeah, for a league that's always losing money, they get a lot of investment. It's funny.
Because that's Mars, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not the place. Maybe we can do a chill because I think this would be enjoyable for chill. We can. There's so many economists like numbers behind red, black. It doesn't mean you're actually losing money. It's like the league is losing, but they're not actually losing money. Everyone's turning a profit. It's just the way the numbers are worked within this infrastructure of this system. It makes it look like it's like in the deficit, but it's just hard, bro. Mars, you're obviously very very smart. Mars, you can't run a business for 30 years and just be like failing. You know what I mean? You got to be turning a profit somewhere. Like
it's not working, Mars.
Sometimes it's intentional.
And on top of that, Mars, not only are you, I'm sorry, Damien, really quickly. And on top of that, Mars, not only can you not run a business for 30 years and failing, people are not going to continuously invest in your business if it's
$4 billion.
No, I'm sorry.
Unless your aspirations. By the way, Kawhi Leonard, shout out.
Hey man, them trees are valuable, man.
We found out that Steve Ballmer's invested over 100 M's in the aspiration.
Keep going, Steve.
100. Shout out Pablo
Torres. Damien.
I was going to say that.
Wait, Mars. Wait, Jordan. Actually, if I think about this, Mars, connect these pieces. Stay with me, Mars. What if? Hold on, Mars. Look at me. What if these businesses are doing the same thing that Ballmer's doing, and they're laundering money through the NBA? Okay. Billions of dollars
He's
in order to
now.
pay off the mafia, the cartel.
I'm not going that far.
Apparently,
I'm not going that far.
That's why the league's expands into Mexico City.
Oh, right.
I don't know about all that.
Damien had a point. Go ahead, Damien. I'm sorry if I could.
There's gonna be some more Pablo's reporting stuff in Mexico City. Go ahead, Damien.
The Swiper's point, though, that's why businesses intentionally sometimes show you that they're in the red. To that point exactly. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I would also say, man, basketball is just growing all over the world. Like, basketball is a growing league all over the world. Like, the Euro League is expanding. Like, things is just expanding, period. It's just time, though. Over time, you get better results over time. Yeah, good things take time. I'm like, saying.
I know that Alba Berlin, who's replacing Alba Berlin in the Euro League? Because this year they out. So somebody's
Apo.
I don't think is Alba out.
Alba. No,
yes.
Alba. It might be Frankfurt. No, Alba is a staple. They are a staple team in the EuroLeague.
Alba is out. This is the first time in 24 years that Alba is not in the EuroLeague.
Alba been doo-doo though. I'm not
they're out. So I'm wondering who's.
I'm not high on the German basketball.
All right, so I got it. He said Berlin is out and they're in the championship league now, and they replaced them with Dubai.
BCL.
And they replaced them with Dubai. Pretty much. So I guess so. I guess.
Also, Bones Highlands is a Timberwolf.
He is.
I saw he re-signed, and it made me think of the conversation we were having. Like,
okay. Hey, but Mars, I know I wasn't tripping though. They did say he was going to play over there. I'm not tripping. I saw that. But
so just,
he probably pulled out at the same time. Hey, Damien, I got a question for you, and I know this not NBA, it's NBL. What's the deal with Kendrick Nunn? Kendrick Nunn from my city too, right down the street. What's the deal with Kendrick Davis and Montrezl Harrell?
Yeah, that's been all over the media. Apparently,
what's the deal with
Montrez, man, Montrez doesn't care, man. Like he's just sitting with every news reporter in the country saying that, that he wasn't a team player, that he was a cancer in the locker room, and it's a bit of drama. It's nothing, no big deal, man.
What am I missing?
I think
someone just summarize right quick,
please.
Montrezl Harrell and Kendrick Davis. Kendrick Davis was playing on the same team as Montrezl. What is it called?
What team is
ADL?
that? What?
ADL?
Yeah.
What's the team? What's the team name, Damien?
Adelaide 76,
36ers. So can you their relevance to the NBA? Can you say like how good of a team they are in the NBA? NBA example.
Just like they're a playoff team, but they're not contenders. So who's that? I don't know.
Chicago.
No.
Not Chicago.
So they're better than them.
Let's say Miami Heat. Let's say Miami Heat.
Oh, Miami.
Yeah, Adelaide's one of the major cities. So yes, they're
Miami Heat.
a playoff team, but they're not winning no championships.
And what team did Davis leave and go to?
Sydney, right? Sydney Kings
are the Lakers, the Knicks.
You know what? One team is the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know who he left and went to? The Golden State Warriors.
Are you? This is Kevin Durant.
No, he actually Montrez actually brought Kevin Durant's name into it when he was comparing it.
But Damien, my question is, what type of stuff? Maybe you don't know, but what type of stuff did Kendrick Davis? And I ain't gonna bash Kendrick Davis. I don't do that. Anybody from Houston, we don't do that. But I'm not gonna bash Kendrick Davis. So, but what did Kendrick Davis do in the locker room that Trez is going on? And to my perspective on what Trez is doing with the NBA, to me, Trez ain't got really no business doing what he doing, considering why he in the NBA. To be fair, so. But my thing is, what is this whole deal? Why he going back at Kendrick Davis on every interview he can?
Well, that's the thing. Like you said, it hasn't been disclosed exactly what happened in the locker room. But basically, there was some toxic stuff going on there, and they reckon that Montrez was trying to derail the team and trying to take over and be the main guy. And
Kendrick Davis or Montrez was
Davis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the main guy, right? I thought he was the main guy.
Yeah, he was. He put fans in seats, man. He was amazing for the league. They wish they kept him, like long term, but.
Oh, okay. So Trez really just there, and he just inherited some beef.
Trez, like he loves that stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Yo, Damien, in light of this, before we move on, I wanted to ask you a question earlier. How would you feel if the NBA decided to just say, hey, we're going down to the land down under, and they just started an NBA Australia? Would you?
Well, it's an absolute, it's a resounding no. but what I want to say though is that we have an unbelievably big basketball community. So if I break this down, for NBA games, time difference, for example, the first game on the East Coast starts in Australia at 10 a.m. in the morning. So by the time the last game in the West Coast finishes, it's maybe 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. So realistically, you can sit here on a Saturday and watch every single game that's on that day. The basketball community is massive here. But again, we're not the Euro League. We don't have the talent. We don't have the talent that can make it viable. We have the community. We don't have the talent. So if the NBA ever wanted to come down under, it would be, I think, a failed sort of project. Yeah, we just don't have the talent like the EuroLeague has to pluck from. That's all, and it's just too far away as well.
I mean, but remember though, if the NBA comes and invests in a league and they're paying out, a good amount of money, people are going to come from everywhere. Yeah,
and look, don't get it twisted. I think after the EuroLeague, it's probably the best league in the world. I think the NBL. Yeah. You can make an argument for the G League. You can make an argument for the G League, but
Turkish League pretty solid too, though. By the way,
Turkish League, Greek League, Spanish League,
French
League. Yeah,
no,
French
it's got
League,
a case.
and then
It's got a case for sure.
It do though. It's up there.
It's got a case. It's got a case.
It's not China, but
like to Mars's point, the money talks, right? If they're gonna make a league in Australia, if they're gonna make a league in New Zealand, if they're gonna make a league in Hawaii, man, the money talks. Whoever's investing there, it's gonna get NBA talent. Like you said, the career of a professional athlete's short, so why not chase the money, right? So it can be, it just depends on financial backing. That's all.
Yeah. Do you ever think Australia would pay that much money though?
Nope. Because we have to remember we have our two main sports are cricket and Australian rules football. So they're the
Shout out
two
cricket,
big money
man.
makers.
That sport is
So-
so confusing to me.
Which one?
Australian rules
football?
for cricket.
That's so confusing to me. Cricket
We'll do
is
a
quite
breakdown
simple,
one day.
but it looks like it would be fun, but that's so confusing to me.
It's
Yeah, they
tough.
just do all kind of stuff with the ball. I'm like, what
Yeah,
the hell
it's-
is this?
I have no idea what's going on.
It's one of the
It's like
toughest sports in the world for sure.
That's
And
like
the
Right.
pitch is round, and I'm like, what's okay? I guess I don't know
They're
what's
not-
happening.
that's
All right,
like
y'all.
rugby,
We
too. Rugby is a little weird too.
we got into this
Oh, and rugby.
Kendrick.
Sorry, and
We got into this Kendrick Davis and Montrezl Harrell beef. Well, there's also been some beef that's been transpiring in the last 24 hours, 48 hours between a guy named Patrick Beverley, who has a pretty big podcast, and another guy named Trae Young, who is a pretty good basketball player. Patrick Beverley said some things about Trae Young regarding Trae Young's attitude and what goes on between him and the ownership and some of the things he does and some of the things he said. Trae Young went off on Pat Beverley last night, and he replied with a couple quotes. One of the quotes is, "I win playing games on the road, and I'm ready to get to the playoffs. You win playing games at home, and you are standing on scores tables acting like it's a championship." He also said, "I know you were labeled as a tough defender, a great defender, and the accolades say that you were. But I promise you, anytime I was on the court with you, I was never scared of you. I was never scared of Pat Bev." And then there was some other things that was said too. Fellas, what are your thoughts on this exchange between these two?
I'm gonna go first because I said this to Ron too before this even broke down. Number one, what Pat said in that video, he didn't tell a lie. Trae just sensitive about what was going on because he feels like he's in that conversation with the all-stars and now he combining himself as we. Pat didn't tell a lie. And y'all know I'm a Trae Young.
Trae is
fan.
factually an all-star, by the way. Just want to put that.
Yes,
out.
no,
Trae is
I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying he felt like he's in that conversation that they were talking about. The overall point, he wasn't talking about Trae Young specifically until Trae Young butted into it. All Pat was saying is guys should play harder or whatever the case it may be. Trae Young then comes and say, slow down, at least let us speak for itself. My thing is, bro, why do that to Pat? Like Pat don't. First of all, Pat came from down under to play a long career in the NBA. Y'all be hearing him say he never missed the playoffs. That's a fact. Whether you want to say it was because of him or not, I can say it's because of him. What he did in Houston was because of him. Him and James Harden for sure. Like him making the playoffs is a big deal. For him to not miss the playoffs that many times is a big deal, whether you want to agree with that shit or not. So for Trae to get sensitive about it and to be disingenuous and say you win playoff games and then stand on you win playing games and stand on the thing, like you being disingenuous. What about all the other playing games? Other playoff games he actually won. Like he's not wrong about what he's saying. I just think they just being sensitive about it. He's not wrong about nothing he said. He ain't tell not one lie. What lie did he tell?
I think this is some pretty convenient timing considering training camp is about to open up. Pat Beverley is trying to get on the roster. I think he's trying to stir some things up. And with him doing that, some teams may be looking at him thinking that, he may be able to help us and he might be able to give us that edge that we didn't have. So I just think it's pretty convenient timing that
I don't think that's why he's doing that. I don't think that's why he's doing that. I think Pat has the options of what he's gonna do. Like he said he was supposed to sign with the Rockets, they just didn't have the money for it. So I don't think that's why he's doing it. Pat don't got first of all, let's be real. Pat don't gotta play another basketball game in his life.
No, he does. He's straight. He's definitely straight.
Yeah,
Pat Beverley friend of the show, by the way.
He don't gotta play.
Mm-hmm.
He made his money. Do you know who he married to? Who he about to get married to?
No, I don't. Who is he getting married to?
I don't keep up with Patrick Beverley love life.
Okay,
I do not neither, Mars. Me neither.
I couldn't get
Okay,
that. I don't know.
Okay, just
No
go look
disrespect to who and his future wife.
Just go look up who he about to get married to, and then you come back and tell me, do Pat got to ever play again in his life?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think he's got to play. I don't think
Shout out
he's got to
Pat
play
Bev.
anyway. Yeah, shout out to Pat Bev.
Yeah,
Right?
he don't got to play regardless. I'm just saying though,
Absolutely.
like that's not. So he's not doing that for no click. That's just who he is. Like that's just how he feels. First of all, he didn't bring Trae Young name up anyway. Trae Young felt the way to take a shot, and that's why he coming with this. When you was on the court, I never feared you. But you a grown ass man. You ain't supposed to fear nobody on the court.
I think he went out of bounds though with one of the comments where, and this is one of the issues I think sometimes with player podcasts where we're giving everyone a voice, but it can be damaging because he said that Trae's a bad teammate. and guys don't want to come play with Trae.
There has been people that said that though.
Yeah, but as we know, that's a reputation that can stay with a guy for a whole career, and I think it's a dangerous game to be playing. And then all of a sudden, it's sort of contradicting as well when someone like Nickeil Alexander-Walker is sort of the most coveted free agent, and Trae plays a part in him signing in Atlanta. So that's sort of directly contradicting what Patrick Beverley's saying. But I think that was the only part for me that sort of crossed the line.
I mean, I don't think
NBA players being bored in the offseason, man. They bored.
I do agree with that, Mars. But my whole point is Pat didn't bring up Trae.
Trae retweeted it back, right?
Yeah. I don't.
Trae initiated the interaction by saying, "Leave this, like, let us speak for ourselves, or whatever." Yeah. But then Pat, I would argue, friend of the show, Patrick Beverley, by the way, shout out to Patrick Beverley.
Friend of mine too, brother. So we ain't gonna get
friend of Jordan, shout out to Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
I do think if I was Trae, I would understand Trae Young responds, and I do think both of them said things that were unnecessary. But that's why it goes back to I just think they're bored. Like, I genuinely think there's nothing going on right now, and they're just making something out of nothing. Patrick Beverley saying that Trae Young's a bad teammate, and then he spoke to guys who don't want to play with him. That's unnecessary. When all Trae Young says is "let us speak for ourselves," that's unnecessary. And then Trae Young bringing up Patrick Beverley's averages and whatever the case may be, that's also unnecessary in response to what Patrick Beverley said that was unnecessary. But overall, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just think it's funny that two NBA players, seeing guys who were at the top of their crafts. Trae Young's obviously a better player than Patrick Beverley was. I think even Patrick Beverley would acknowledge that. But seeing two guys who were undoubtedly at the top of their craft worldwide, I'm watching one basically say, "You were trash." It's just funny to me. Like, I just think that's really funny.
Well, relative.
So I'm just taking it for what it is. I just think that's hilarious that we're watching two guys who reached the pinnacle of their profession, and one is basically saying, "Yeah, but you trash." Like, I just think that's funny. So,
well, to be fair, he did give credit to Pat for making it. You know, he said that, like, I want to acknowledge that you did work to get here, and like, there's only a few of us that ever played here. But then he said there's tiers here. Like, there's you see the shoes I have on. You could not walk in these shoes, basically. Like, you could not be the face of a franchise like I have been and have been able to carry and all that kind of stuff. So
you're not totally wrong there, to be fair.
And to Pat Beverley and Trae Young, I like the fact that it stays right here. If you notice that Giannis and Sengun thing got diffused really quickly, and the reason why it got diffused was because it was turning into something else. It didn't just stay basketball. That's why Giannis and Sengun were able to get in front of this thing and go, whoa, wait a minute. This is just about basketball. We got people. I mean, Giannis's wife is getting death threats and things like that. Like, wait a minute. Okay, this is turning into something else, and we don't want that. Pat Beverley and Trae Young, this is staying basketball, which, to be honest with you, I've always been a fan of that. I've always been a fan of stuff like guys, you know, having some animosity. Jordan, man, you ain't supposed to be cool. I don't like you. You don't like me neither.
Do you think some of this is
good for the game? To be honest with you, I do. I think it's good for the game. So if I see you throughout the course of the season, I mean, yes, we may have a dust up. I mean, it's not gonna be fisticuffs or anything like that, but we may have a dust up. I mean, with Sengun and Giannis, I don't think there's anybody up here that thinks Sengun is not going to get destroyed by Giannis when he sees him.
I don't know if he will.
Chill. But at the same time, to be fair, though, hold on, sorry, because we can go back to that in a minute. But to be fair, I'm just saying from the initial statement of Patrick Beverley, he wasn't necessarily like Trae Young put himself in that conversation. And I feel like Pat probably had his little lash out because of how everybody, like Brandon Jennings. I'm a big fan of Brandon Jennings. I'm going to be real. Pat had a better career than Brandon Jennings. All that laughing bullshit, he can stop that dumb shit. Because Pat had a better career than him, like, regardless of how he want to put it.
I think he did too.
Yeah, like,
that doesn't mean he's a better player than Brandon Jennings.
No, I don't necessarily mean that, but he had a better career than Brandon Jennings by a mile. Like, Brandon Jennings would trade his career for Pat's career. Like, that's all.
I wouldn't want to tie my Achilles either. Yeah, I wouldn't want to tie my Achilles either. I mean, shit. But,
sure. But even before he tore his Achilles, like, Brandon Jennings had, y'all only looking. I'm a fan of Brandon Jennings. I'm biased about Brandon Jennings too. He played decent for what he did in Milwaukee. For all of the time and the shots they gave him, he was supposed to play better than that. Realistically, it's cool to watch him play. He was a very cool player to watch.
What year did he get hurt?
He got hurt with the Pistons.
2015.
Yeah, he got hurt with the Pistons.
2014.
Yeah, he was getting busy that year too.
Yeah, he was. But why was he even over there with the Pistons if he think he was what he was?
Chris Middleton trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Because the Pistons didn't want to pay him what he wanted, though. So at the same time, my whole thing is Pat is just getting this whole pushback about what he was as this, as a player. He was just giving an opinion on something that Trae Young felt like he needed to try to be silly about. And what happens when you become silly? Somebody gotta call your bluff. Like they gotta just lash out and respond how they want to respond. I don't have no problem with Trae Young responding, by the way. Trae Young did what he's supposed to do. When Pat say what he say, he got to make his response back. Cool. Keep it there. I don't have no problem with what Pat said, though. Also, I have zero problem with it. People want to make a big deal out of what he said, like he said something non-factual. I do agree with Mars, though, about them just being bored. Like, they just being bored. But both of them are podcasters, too, by the way. You can say that now. Both of them are podcasters at the same sense. So if that's what you want to do for content, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to do for content, cool. But at the end of the day, Pat didn't say nothing wrong, and Trae Young response ain't really wrong. I also don't like when somebody say, when you was on the court, I wasn't scared of you. Like, you a grown ass man. If you scared of somebody in the NBA, something wrong with you. Like, something's wrong with you.
Is Pat career over in the NBA? Is he finished?
I'd assume he's 37 now.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
I wouldn't expect a team, but maybe like closer to the playoffs if a team feels like
that's what I was thinking.
A Patrick Beverley type. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he gets offered something, but I would also be kind of surprised if he's on a team at the start of the season. But
I mean, he said he was close to signing with the Rockets. He said he was close to signing with the Rockets. So
the Rockets make sense to me. The Rockets do make sense.
I said at the beginning of the season that they needed to sign Pat, but I mean, at the beginning of the offseason that they need to sign Pat. So, I mean, I don't know. If his career is over, it's over. But I don't think he's doing all that for a career in the NBA. If anything, that hurts his career in the NBA. So, I don't think he's doing that for that.
Do you guys think?
Go ahead.
Do you guys think some of Trae Young's response was? There's a lot of noise around him now about what type of player he is. Does he impact winning? Is he in that upper echelon of point guards? Where should he be ranked? Do you think some of that response is that him trying to remind people like, "Hey, I'm 25-10 for my career. I'm not nobody." I think there's probably a bit of that as well in this.
He did bring up the stats in the video.
It depends how much Trae listens to and how much he cares about that. I don't know Trae personally. This is just projection. I don't want to assume anything. But we've heard the rumblings about Trae thinking he should get the max extension from Atlanta, and he hasn't been offered that yet. I do think hearing it from a pro in Patrick Beverley, someone who is a veteran in the NBA, who does garner respect in NBA circles, and then him saying outwardly, publicly, I've heard your teammates say they don't want to play with you, knowing that Trae Young is trying to get this max contract, that can be seen as like, you're trying to mess my money up. And I understand why a player would take offense to that or would feel the need to respond to that. I'm not saying that is the reason Trae responded, but I can understand that being an angle, being something that throws things off. But with Trae, it's like, a guy like Trae, his game is meant to speak for itself. And I'm not holding it against Trae that it doesn't. But like the fact that a player of Trae Young's caliber feels compelled in any way to have to defend how great he is, I think is a disservice to the way we as fans talk about guys like Trae Young who don't have the playoff success or who aren't winning because Trae Young is amazing. Undoubtedly one of the 10 best point guards in the NBA.
You know how I feel about him.
Yeah, man. Undoubtedly one of the 5 best passes in the NBA. Like, Trae Young is that good, but yet there's still so many questions about him and fans who discredit him or anything he's achieved. I think that says more about like just the overall basketball discourse. The fact that a player of Trae Young's caliber feels any sort of need to have to set the story straight about him when he hasn't, like, he's not been a part of controversies. He's not been in trouble off the court, any of that. It's like people question Trae Young because apparently the guy who leads the league in assists every year is a selfish teammate or someone you don't want to play with. Like, that's not normally something you hear. So, like, that's kind of weird to me. But I think Trae was entitled to respond to what Patrick Beverley said. Patrick Beverley was entitled to respond to Trae Young responding to Patrick Beverley. And then Trae Young was entitled to respond to Patrick Beverley responding to Trae Young responding to Patrick Beverley. Like, it just is what it is. And I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Beverley responds again.
Pat gonna respond again.
So, and we gonna be here when that happens. And we gonna talk about that.
Hey, but I want to ask y'all a question because I seen Brandon Jennings. I don't want, fuck it. I do want to make this about Brandon Jennings. I ain't even gonna play no professional route because I've been seeing him doing a lot of laughing and giggling with other motherfuckers coming at Patrick Beverley. That shit is weird as hell to me. Because number one, Pat came to you directly and say he will bet you $50,000 of his own money to play you in one-on-one, and your ass gonna say, I don't play with the average under 10.
Bless
Like,
you.
Patrick
you
Beverley
set
averaged
the-
13 one time.
He
Patrick Beverley averaged 13 one time.
motherfucker, you know why he set the bar so low? Because he wasn't averaging that fucking much either, though. Like, he acted like he was averaging 25. Like, motherfucker, you set the bar to 10 because you weren't averaging that much. And you played the whole damn game. So my whole thing is all of this laughing and playing and shit. Nigga, if he want to bet you 50,000, you scared. I don't want to hear nothing about, I'll get paid to do this. Yeah, Pat said, I'll pay you 50,000. Let's bet 50,000. He said he'd go to the bank right now and come play you. And now you doing all this laughing with Trae Young. Boy, stop it. Stop it. That's my whole thing.
Who you gonna win in the M1s? Pat Bev or Brandon Jennings?
Pat will beat the shit out of Brandon Jennings in one-on-one. Brandon Jennings too small, bro. He too small. Like, you good in the open.
Where's Brandon Jennings at? 6'1", 180, maybe? 175?
Well, we saw him. We saw him when we was in San Francisco.
Yeah, he ain't that big.
Yeah, but he's what, like 6 foot, 6'1", like 170?
He just not that
Pat's
strong,
bigger than
boy.
him. But also too, like B. Jennings, from what I know, we definitely know he's not playing in the league right now. So I don't get
Yeah, that's going on. Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
Ron, repeat what you said, Ron.
Yeah,
yes,
go
Ron,
ahead,
you in and out.
Try again.
Ron,
repeat what you said, Ron.
I thought that was me, Mars. I thought that was
you
me.
hot now. You hot, Ron. Now we can see you.
Wait a minute, Ron. Wait, Ron. We can't hear you. Pause again. Right.
Y'all can't hear me?
Now you good. Now you good, Ron. Yes, you good.
Okay. I was just gonna say Brandon Jennings hasn't been playing like that. So
I mean, just realistically though, unless you like way bigger than Pat, you're probably not gonna beat him in one-on-one. There's a lot of motherfuckers that probably can't beat him in one-on-one. Boy, you see, he just played like he just a one-on-one player. You really don't want to play. Like if you a guard, if you're not,
you don't want to play him. That doesn't mean you're not gonna win, but you don't want to.
Boy, it would be hard as hell to beat Pat in one-on-one.
Am I out of line if I think?
Make it hard.
I agree, it would be a hard game, but that doesn't mean you're not going to win. I agree, it would be hard. Patrick Beverley's gonna make it difficult, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna win.
And
am I out of line if I think?
You're gonna undermine his offensive game too, and he gonna hit some bullshit that you don't think he can make, and then he gonna keep making it. Then he gonna lose. That's part of it too. Like you gonna undermine his offensive game, and on top of he gonna play defense. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Am I out of line if I'm coming in the league and I think that's me right there? If I'm looking at Pat Beverley, like, am I out of line if I think that like I want to be that right there? Am I crazy to think that?
No,
because
that's someone who makes $80 million and has a 10-year plus career.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm coming into the league and I'm a guy who, you know, I can score it, but you know, I'm probably going to be a rotation guard, and if I'm not a rotation guard, I'm a fringe starter. So I'm looking at a guy like Patrick Beverley going, that's me right there. A guy who's a defender, who's a glue guy, who's dependable, who's going to make things difficult for opposing offenses, and I'm going to play a long time. So a prime example, like we talk about Bronny James a lot. If I'm Bronny James, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Pat Beverley going, that's me right there. That's me right there. That's what I'm going to do. I can maybe be a better version of that.
He's no scrub. Like, let's not get it twisted.
If you do what Patrick Beverley does, you're gonna have a space in the league.
Mm-hmm.
A player example like a Davion Mitchell right now. I think Davion Mitchell is of the Patrick Beverley molds.
Yeah.
I would argue Patrick Beverley, like prime Patrick Beverley, was better offensively than Davion has been in the NBA. But like he's of that mold. He's gonna defend. He's gonna pick up 94 feet. He's gonna play hard as hell. He's gonna be extremely difficult to just get around, get by. You can't screen him. All of those things like. And you're going to be a valuable player in pretty much any context. Now, the only downside is like Pat Bev is what 6'1", 6'2". Davion Mitchell is 6'1", 6'2". Like that's the only downside, being like a smaller guard. But if you play with that tenacity and you're that good of a defender and you can knock down shots, you're gonna have a place in some capacity in the NBA. Pat Bev did it while being on playoff teams consistently, being really impactful. Now, was he ever the best player on his teams? No. Mm-hmm. Patrick Beverley would tell you he wasn't the best player on his teams. He knows that.
No.
But he was still really impactful. And this is another issue I have with fans in general. If you want the best or the second best player on the team, people just don't care about you and your contributions. Like, it's like, no, it's not all about Shea and Jada. Like, Caruso is valuable. Like, it's not all about them. Like, these guys have value on teams, and although they aren't the only reason or the main reason the team wins, Patrick Beverley definitely makes his teams better. Every team Patrick Beverley's been on, especially during his prime, Patrick Beverley
made them better.
Hey, Mars, he ain't gonna let you get away. He ain't gonna let you get away with just saying James Harden on the Rockets either. He ain't gonna let you get away with that. You say James Harden turned the Rockets around, he gonna say, no, hell no, hell no.
I arrived at the same time.
He gonna say that too.
But like, and I'm not saying Patrick Beverley was as important as James Harden. And once again, I don't think Pat Bev would say that. But he's still important, and there's no doubt that Patrick Beverley's impact has been felt for every team he played for, especially during his prime. He made the Clippers better. He made the Rockets better. He made the Timberwolves better. Now he's giving himself a lot of credit for the Timberwolves, saying like he instilled a certain mentality into those guys. And
I think he did though.
That's why he was on the scoreboard.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I can't attest to that. I can't speak for what he did in the locker room, but I can undoubtedly say I watched that Timberwolves team, and they looked better than they had in previous years. And I think Patrick Beverley was extremely influential in terms of what he brought on the court to help that team. Especially
he did it with the Clippers too. He definitely did it with the Clippers. You can't tell me.
And I can agree with that as well. So
like him,
they were on their way to doing something too.
Very impactful.
That Clipper team, you probably was there, Jordan, because I think you told me that your man played for the Clippers.
Yes,
I think you told me. Yeah, you was there. And that Clipper team, then they win 48 games that year, and they made the playoffs. That was the year before they got Kawhi Leonard. If I'm not mistaken, I think
they won 2 games. They won 2 games against the Warriors.
They beat the Warriors twice. Yes. So I felt like that team was doing something. I felt like that team was on its way to doing something special. Don't get me wrong. To add Kawhi Leonard and to add Paul George to a crew, I mean, I think you're doing something significant. But I mean, Pat Beverley had that. I think Pat Beverley had that crew just from his mentality of just being a lunch pail guy, bringing his hard hat to work every day, showing up to work, and just giving it everything that he has. I mean, I just think that resonates throughout the rest of the crew. Mars, don't forget that Minnesota team that won that playing game and went to the playoffs. The last time they went to the playoffs was KG MVP year. They hadn't been to the playoffs since then. Right?
The one year Pat Bev was injured in LA, his first year in LA, they missed the playoffs. He comes back the next year, they're in the playoffs, 2019. And I'm not saying that's all because of him, but Patrick Beverley, from when he entered the league, he's not wrong. From when he entered the league, every year he was healthy, his teams were making the playoffs. The one year he wasn't, when he got hurt his knee in 2018, they missed the playoffs.
Like, hey, don't forget.
Impact, I think is undeniable.
He did it in 2016 with the Clippers. Remember, he went to the Clippers. He tore his ACL. I think they missed the playoffs. What about the next year when he was healthy? They made the playoffs. Like, this is
and he came into the league. And he came into the league as a 24-year-old.
He was to go to the playoffs with Jimmy Butler. Yep, Max is right. But they went with Jimmy Butler, another player who I think is really impactful. Obviously more than Patrick Beverley. But so it was 4 KG, nothing. Jimmy Butler, cooked again, Patrick Beverley. And then they've pushed on since then.
Didn't they lose that play-in game? That tie game? No, they did make the playoffs.
No, they won Jeff Teague against the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, that was a tie. That was a tie game.
It was a really good game. I think didn't Jokic have like 40 or something?
You talking about the 17-18 game?
But my whole thing,
like 40 in that game.
It was to get in the playoffs. I thought they lost that game. My fault. Yep, my fault.
Hey, but my whole thing with this, too, like with Jeff Teague, Jeff Teague had a damn good career too. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jeff Teague had a damn good career too. Yeah. You don't hear Pat and Jeff Teague going back and forth, though. Well, why is Brandon Jennings and Pat going through this shit?
They got different personalities, though. To be fair,
you're right, but that's my point. Is like, bro, you laughing and kicking with other motherfuckers when they go on that Pat. That shit is weird, bro. He asked you to play.
I think. Like he was at the Bucks parade.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like you said,
Brandon Jennings.
Yeah. Like you said,
kind of ingrained in.
Got rid of it.
Yeah, but he was celebrating like
play with some of those guys.
All I'm saying is,
was in the
stop all that laughing and kikiing when me and somebody else having a back and forth, and you think you can laugh and kiki like, look at this guy, When he called you, that's like me. You want me to fight somebody else so bad, and I say, motherfucker, you talking shit? How about you fight me? Oh no, I don't fight motherfuckers that don't knock me out in the first round. Like, no, stop all that laughing and kikiing because when he called you out, like, bro, when he called you out, you should have said, "I'll play." Nick Young said, "I'll play." That's what he said. Nick Young said,
I think Nick Young would win, by the way.
Nick Young bigger than him. That's why
I don't know.
Nick Young 6'7". I don't know.
Yeah, he
ain't him. But
it ain't gonna be no fresh off a season.
Oh, for sure.
Where he
it ain't gonna be regardless. It's whether Nick Young was fresh off a season or not. It's just not gonna be no easy win playing against Pat Bev 1-on-1. Bro, y'all don't. This nigga averaged 40 in high school. You think that
Chicago?
You don't think that's something? Like we seeing Pat Bev who want to play in the NBA for 15 years. That's the Pat Bev we looking at, and y'all comparing that. Motherfuckers in the NBA play 1-on-1. They got game. They just doing what they can to get paid and survive. So it ain't gonna be easy. Like it's just not gonna be easy. That's all I'm saying. That's why he didn't play though. That's my thing. That's why he didn't play. I just think he's scared.
All right, y'all. Well, You guys should not be scared to play, especially on Splash Sports. Everybody, this is your opportunity to make a splash into the sports scene and put all your basketball expertise, knowledge, stats, analytics, everything that's going on in your head about basketball or football, WNBA, the whole 9 yards, MLB. This is the place to do it right now. You can make your picks on Splash Sports. The link is in the description. Click that link and you can compete against fans, not against the house. Go ahead and make it happen. And let me show you guys exactly what it is that we got going on over here at PC, because we have a free NFL Pick'em contest. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. You see, you go to Splash Sports, you enter the Player's Choice room, and then you'll see an NFL Pick'em contest. When you do that, you enter the contest, and after you enter the contest, you'll see that it's a $1,500 prize. Now, as I told you, there's only 33 entrants, but here's the thing. The money's getting paid out no matter what. And these are what the payouts look like for the top 25 people. You see the payouts over here, and you see the top 25 people in this contest will be paid out. Once again, you choose the winners of every single game this week. The person who chooses the most correct winners wins the most money. And it's as simple as that. We will see you guys in the winner's circle. I hope that you get number 2, because I'm getting number 1. But everybody else, I wish you the best success. I'll see you there.
You're already on a losing streak, Ron. You're already on a losing streak. You started losing from the beginning.
It's okay. I can win this week. Just because I lost last week don't mean I can't win this week. But speaking of all of that good stuff, and speaking of the NFL, Swiper gave you some of his picks. But in case you missed it, last night we had the press box at Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you missed the episode, tap back in after the panel today, or tune in on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will be there. You should be there as well. And as if this isn't enough, tonight we will be on playback at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Throwback Thursday. The game that we will be watching, you just got to pull up to find out. But if you are in the Hall of Fame group chat right now, you can see exactly which game we're going to watch. So shout out to the Hall of Famers. The Hall of Famers actually are the ones that chose the games that we're choosing from today. So make sure you pull up once again, 7 p.m. Eastern on playback. We are going to watch a very good game today. Throwback game. All right, fellas, a couple more things that I want to touch on before we get up out of here. Make sure everybody likes the video, subscribe, become a member, all of that good stuff. There was 2 good WNBA games last night. I do want to talk about those. Before we talk about those, though, today, DPOY in the WNBA will be announced. These are the candidates. As of right now, the top 4 candidates. You can see we got Fee, we got Asia, we got Elena Smith, and we got Gabby Williams. You guys have predictions on who you think will win this?
Elena Smith probably gonna win. I want Gabby to win, but she's not gonna win. Elena Smith is probably gonna win. 9 times out of 10, she's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, she's on the best defensive team.
The fact that they got 2 players though on that joint is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But
I mean, Fee won it last year.
Yeah, I know, but Atlanta for sure gonna win. I don't think Asia could have a case. You know, sometimes you be a little biased to motherfuckers that just do shit good all the time. Asia would have a case, but I just think Atlanta Smith gonna win. Like, she just in position to win it.
Yeah, well, shout out to Gabby Williams. She's probably not gonna get it, but she broke the WNBA steals record, so salute to her.
Oh, Dyson Daniels, nice.
Yeah.
Chill, we're going by defensive rating. Napheesa Collier should be winning this award, should she not?
Yes, she should be, but she missed some games too. So I think that matters. Yeah, availability matters.
Mars, you don't have to do it now,
but defensive rating, but
you can look up which team allowed the fewest amount of points per game, and we can do it from there.
Shout out to Go James Kingston, man.
Yep, shout out to my dog, man. That was a great episode, man. That was a great episode. I missed them shows, man. That was Ron's best work this summer, man.
Oh, the summer ain't over. Hey, I can.
The Zesties.
We can get started.
The Valkyries gave up the fewest amount of points this year.
Okay, among those 4, which one of them gave up the fewest amount?
It was the Lynx, so I'd assume it would be Napheesa.
All right, so Fee's winning. Shout out.
Fee's not winning. Elena Smith is winning, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Elena Smith gonna win.
But her team allowed more points per game than Fee's team.
Elena Smith played for the Lynx. What are you talking about?
Oh, you said wrong. I heard it wrong.
Yeah, but she played less games, so the defense obviously got worse when in her absence. So Elena Smith gave up more points. That Fee did because Fee was missing games while the team was giving up more points.
Shit, bro. That shit
Nah, man. On off, man. Respect the on off.
I do want to say this. Because Go Jane Kingdom be trolling me in the comments and shit like that, brother. Stop it.
You're the best person to troll on PC though.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not the best person to troll. Because if y'all really saw me in my real form of trolling, I would make a whole nother account to troll Go James Kingdom. But I would put my face in it. I'm only reason why I'm making a whole nother account is because my real account would get deleted. Brother, stop.
That's not even trolling. That's just being mean.
Oh,
that's what you're saying. It's just gonna be mean.
I'm gonna just tell him one time. Because I'm the one who came up with that name that Sacred said in the chat. I came up with that name, by the way. But I'm going to just say this one time, brother. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Esophagus James Kingdom?
Yeah, stop playing, brother. Like, please stop playing. I'll be seeing him in the comment. I ignore it. I don't even respond back to him. But, brother, stop it. Because my jokes is dark. You got to go to a dark web to find my jokes. And I might be the only one laughing. Nigga, I laugh at a funeral. So don't play with me. I'm just letting you know. Don't play.
Like laughing at a funeral is one of the best things you can do, though.
No, nigga, not the way I would laugh.
But not him, though. Not those kind of jokes.
Right, y'all. So there were two playoff games in the WNBA last night. One team ended up advancing, and one team pushed the series to an elimination game. Let's start with the Mercury and the Liberty. The Mercury were down 1-0 to the Liberty. I know you guys remember earlier this week we were talking about the game. And then you guys said that the Mercury were going to New York and that Brooklyn had the best fans and that it was no way that the Mercury were going to win in Brooklyn. And lo and behold, not only did they win in Brooklyn, they shoved their foot up their asses.
Literally, Ron. I did not. There are games that I watch where I'm like, all right, yo, that was a hard fought game or that was an ass whooping. I didn't appreciate that ass whooping at all yesterday. I did not appreciate that at all. That team in New York, I'm not buying the logic that Stewie is hurt. Okay, she's hurt, but when she's out there, I'm expecting her to give me something. They showed up last night, Ron. That's it. They expected Phoenix to roll over. They didn't show up against a team that was fighting for their playoff lives. That they knew if we lose, we're out. And the reason why I know that is because I'm watching them get wide open layups. I'm watching how careless they were with the basketball. I'm watching how easily they were rebounding on the offensive end. They beat them in every aspect of the game that they beat them in. And it was just simple. And I don't think that I'm going to get that same performance in game 3 from the Liberty, but I can tell you what, Ron, I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix beat them. I would not be surprised.
They went on a 35-15 run at one point yesterday.
Yeah, y'all know Stewie hurt though, right?
Yeah, she is. She got a sprained MCL. No structural damage, but it's a sprained MCL. That's what it is. So, but that was a terrible effort yesterday. Terrible effort. Sabrina looked just trash. She did a terrible job in taking care of the basketball. She couldn't get downhill against anybody. Her decision making sucked. She couldn't make any shots. I just thought that they were bad all the way around, Moss. They were just bad all the way around. That don't let the 30-point. Don't let the numbers fool you. It was way worse than that. Way worse. When DeWanna Bonner is hitting one-leg threes, when DeWanna Bonner is hitting one-leg threes, like moving away from somebody, not just shooting a one-leg three, like head faking and making one-leg threes. Game's over. We're done.
It's just bag work right there, man. That's just skill.
No. It was awful.
Tip your cap.
It was completely awful. That was an ass whooping that they had coming.
Yeah, well, I got the Mercury in game 3, but here's the thing, y'all. It is a good chance that we end up watching that on playback. So y'all make sure you tap in tomorrow. I'll make the announcement if we are. Obviously, tomorrow is the PCL plan, so you are going to want to tap in no matter what. But that is going to be a good game 3. However, in another series, there won't be a game 3, and that is the Lynx and the Valkyrie. The Valkyries were smoking the Lynx, and the number 1 seed responded like the number 1 seed and ended up coming back. Fellas, thoughts on this game?
I thought that the thing that I saw, what put Minnesota back in the game, was the Valkyrie were making them play defense for stretches. The ball was moving. There was way more action. That pick and roll, that pick and dive. And I felt like they had Minnesota at an advantage. The difference was Minnesota now made the Valkyrie play defense for stretches. It wasn't one pass, one shot. It wasn't just Fee getting to the rim or Fee just knocking down shots. The ball started moving more, and I think that tired out the Valkyrie, and they weren't able to get nearly as good looks as they did in the first half and even in the second quarter. And then Ron, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name. Not Fee, but
for who?
Kayla McBride.
Kayla McBride. That's what I'm thinking about. Like she ultimately got going, right? And then when she got going, I felt like they got going. And I'm gonna say this here, and I know it might sound crazy. I think Williams got the best mid-range game in the game. I don't think there's
Courtney Williams.
I think she got the best mid-range game in her stop and pop game better than everybody's.
I think so. Chill. If we talk about one dribble pull up, two dribble pull ups, I can get with that. I don't think she got the best mid in the game because there's people that can post up and do other things and stuff like that.
I ain't talking about that, Ron. Okay.
If you talk about just one, two stop and pops,
I think she's the best in the game, Ron. I do.
Ridiculous with that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what,
I knew she was gonna hit that last shot. I knew that was good.
Too, by the way.
When she shot it, I knew it was going in immediately.
Yes.
What's up, Swiper?
You know what? I mean, it's wasn't crazy, but that Dejanay trade is paying dividends, bro, because she's been balling, and she balled yesterday for them too. Like, she just gives them such a deep rotation, and like, even that was one of the best games I've like, especially in the games I've seen all season, man. Like, shout out to the Stud Buds, by the way, but
that
just
was both,
yeah, just not letting up, man. Shout out to my dogs, man. It's a great game.
But like all of that is funny and everything,
but they
really be hooping.
Yeah, they good.
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm.
Like, they got a great platform. They're funny. They make good content, but they really be hoping. Like, legitimately, they are on the best team in the WNBA, and they both play a pivotal role on that team. Like, they be hoping. I think Napheesa, I think she's gonna get six player of the year, and then I think Courtney Williams. Well, Chill just said he thinks Courtney Williams has the best. He said mid-range game in the WNBA.
Definitely the best stop and pop game. Definitely the best stop and pop game. I don't think that there's a player in the league that got a better stop and pop game than Courtney Williams.
Don't let that pink hair fool y'all. They be
she is nice as hell. Yes, she is a baller, 100%. So get the Valkyrie out of here. I think that they had a great season, but Minnesota got bigger fish to fry. I think they held them to 11 points in the fourth quarter. We like 3 minutes. I think we like
to pressure up, Chill.
I think we like 3 minutes left in the game, and they only had like five or 6 points in the quarter, something like that. They went on a 25-6 run, something like that. So I felt like Minnesota's defense and their defensive rebounding was the difference in the game, especially late in the game. I thought that was the difference. So, I mean, I think Minnesota. I'm still standing on it. I think that Minnesota's going to be in the NBA championship. I think the Aces are winning the NBA championship, but they definitely going to be. I think they're going to be there at the end.
But look, shout out. She didn't have a great shooting game, but I think it's Cecilia. Last name is Zanda. Hold on, let me make sure I say it correctly. Zanda Lassini.
Yeah, Zanda Lassini. Yeah, Zanda Lassini.
Yeah, she got some she got some great buckets down the stretch of the game too. Like they could have won. They very well could have won that game. She got a fadeaway rolling out to the right to end the game, and she bricked it. But like I said, that's because on the other side, like Courtney and them were just going crazy. And then dribble pass, kick out to Fee for a wide open three with like a minute left too. Like, it's just really good basketball.
They made the Lynx fight for that 100%. But the thing about it is, I just gotta once again shout out to the Golden State Valkyries because they are the first expansion team to make the playoffs. They literally ran and got other players off other people's teams. Well, drafted other players from the rest of the league. Like, they weren't supposed to be this good. They weren't supposed to be above 500. They weren't supposed to make the playoffs. They weren't supposed to be in that game last night. They took literally the best team in the WNBA down to the wire. And a lot of people believe they should have won. I know I believe that they should have won. Now, they crumbled under the pressure. to the best team in the WNBA. But once again, I got to tip my hat off to the most improved player, Veronica Burton, one of my favorite players in the WNBA. She is a dog on both ends of the floor. And also shout out to their coach of the year. So they had an impressive first season. The fan base seems to love them. They gave them a standing ovation after the game. They had one of the best attendance records. So I think they got something special going on in Golden State. Salute to them. Salute to that franchise.
Ox is wild as hell with this Napheesa and Asia comparison. Nobody up here ever compared Napheesa to Asia. Nobody up here thought Napheesa. Ron did not think Napheesa was as good as Asia. He did not. He might have said that. Ron might have said that for content.
I heard it many a times.
Ron, you don't really think Napheesa was as good as her. Like, honestly, Ron, did you really think that?
Who won MVP last year?
Okay, she won the MVP.
Who won DPOI last year?
I thought Stewie won it. I'm sorry. She did. Yeah, I think, yeah. Napheesa.
Who got the #1 record in the league right now?
Okay.
I thought Asia won MVP last year. Am I tripping?
Who is he talking about?
My bad. I mean this year.
Okay, we don't know who won. We don't know who won it, right? We don't know who won it. So Ron is on some nonsense, right? Ron again is on some nonsense. So who won the MVP? So Ron, who won the MVP this year? Asia's gonna win it.
No,
that's who's gonna win it.
Well, Asia won it last year too, though. But
that's what I'm saying.
Which means that's gonna be.
I meant to say this year.
Which means that's gonna be. Even this year, that's gonna be 4 times in 5 years, Ron.
Sound like somebody else I know, Mars.
Ron, you really don't believe she's better than her. You don't believe that, Ron. No, you don't. That's why when Ox says in terms of comparing,
you got 2 goats at the same time.
We're talking about comparing Napheesa and holding up to the same standard. I hold Napheesa to a really high standard, but she's not. She is not Asia good.
But what is Ox talking about? Napheesa got busy last night. She had 25 and 7. I know the game before that, Asia Wilson didn't show up in the 3rd or 4th quarter. So what about that, Ox? What standard are we talking about?
I think Ox is talking about missing free throws and teammates making.
Yeah, she went like 2 for 6 from the strike last night. She didn't
9% free throw shooter, by the way. I know a certain pencil basketball telling me about 85% free throw shooter missing free throws, but the 9% free throw shooter also missing free throws.
Sabrina did the same thing yesterday.
Team won, and she.
I'm just talking about missing free throws as a 90% free throw shooter.
And Sabrina did the same thing yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Ox apparently wants to come up here though, so I don't know if
well, first off, you're not invited, Big Ox. Second off, your goat is playing a game 3 tonight in Seattle that she's going to lose, or in Vegas. It's in Vegas that she's going to lose, and my best player in the league is moving on to the next round.
So do you troll best player in the league in both leagues?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes, he does. Because to be fair, Swiper, he don't believe that. He does not.
He doesn't.
No.
He didn't say anything all year, and then all of a sudden, real talk get here. And now you get courage. Courage to
he said that. Here. I've heard Ron. I've actually heard you, Ron, say you got to pay a fee, and I've heard you big her up. Ron, at no point have you ever said that she was better or in the same conversation.
Napheesa had it. She had a better season this year. She did. If Napheesa doesn't,
no, she did not,
if she doesn't get injured, she runs away with that MVP. Oh, hello, Big Ox. How'd you get here?
What up,
Nice to see you. What jersey you got on? What jersey is that? Let's see it. Anything but an Asian jersey, huh?
Diana Taurasi.
Okay.
Hey, I know my audio ain't the best, so I just want to just come up real quick. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of y'all way. But can I just say something really quick? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You good.
You hot.
Because I watched the show yesterday, Ron. I watched the show. I watched all of you guys talk about Asia Wilson like a dog, although she played the first 3 quarters and played the first look. I don't want to argue. I just want to just get my quick take off. She played 3 amazing quarters of basketball. The 4th quarter was not that well. Dominique stepped up on the defensive end. Asia couldn't get a couple shots off, and she was being passive. She missed some big free throws, 100%. I'm not trying to cap for that. Asia did not close out the game. No, she did not. What I want y'all to do is keep the same energy y'all had for Asia for Fee, because Penn, of all people, in Spiper, you as well. I've heard all of you, Mars. I've heard all of you guys say.
All of y'all.
I've heard all of you guys say that we ignore certain things if the game is a win instead of a loss. I want to say that last night, and on top of that, the Aces have controlled 73 minutes of 80 out of that entire series. The Minnesota Lynx were getting their asses kicked last night. Fee was looking pedestrian. Bridget Carlton and Kayla McBride. Brought that team back. Napheesa Collier was missing free throws. Napheesa Collier played solid defense. Napheesa Collier did everything that Asia Wilson did, except for she hit one corner three in the fourth quarter. Other than that, she did everything Asia Wilson did. It was a 2. You're right, Ron. It was a 2. They didn't even need to review that. That was crazy. She did everything that Asia Wilson did, except for she made a corner 2 in the fourth quarter and played mediocre defense. But Bridget Carlton and Kayla McBride won the game for their team like good teammates are supposed to do, because this is a 5-on-5 sport. I want y'all to hold Napheesa Collier to the same standards as y'all would hold Asia Wilson to, because y'all say Napheesa's the MVP. I know all the stuff y'all say. Mind you, I love Napheesa Collier. I just want y'all to keep the same energy. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, Ox, I do want to say this, that Napheesa Collier scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, by the way.
That's fine.
Close out the game, Ox. Close out the game.
She did not close out the game.
She did not. Did not close out the game yesterday.
The defense is what closed the game out.
No, those were early fourth quarter minutes, and mind you, those count just as much as anything else. So what I'm saying is, what did she have last night? 23 and 7?
24. Get it right.
24 and 7. That's great. Great numbers. What I'm saying is, she played the same game as Asia, except for Asia was actually impactful early in the game. Bridget Carlton and Kayla McBride made it a game, brought their team back, and did what they had to do. Fee was out there missing huge free throws that would have lost them the game, just like Asia's. I'm just saying, y'all don't keep the same energy. I sat here and listened to y'all wondering, well, y'all gonna keep the same energy, and y'all didn't. And I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Lock in, guys.
I'm disappointed. That's all.
Locking in.
Because y'all got some insane thing y'all do every time Asia doesn't play like the best player in the world.
Oh wow.
Oh, she got to go through the ringer. As soon as Asia Wilson doesn't play like the best player in the world, you guys lose your mind.
Ox, you do the same thing with Joker, Ox. You do the same thing with Joker. You do the exact same thing with Joker.
I don't think Joker's the best player in the world.
Come on and jump into this dual screen.
No, Ron. You are a part of this.
Swiper, we cannot let them turn us against each other today, Swiper. We will not let them do that. We will not let them do that. But I'm gonna get out of your way. Amazing show. Yes, you. Hey, but like I said, y'all, amazing show. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna get out y'all way. What's up, Dan? Chill.
Big fella.
Swiper.
Yes, sir. Big fella. Yes, sir.
Hey, Ron, I want you to remember what he just said. For when the Mars heard it, Chill heard it, everybody heard it. Our esteemed guest heard it. When Jokic, we had 28, 9 and 9. I thought he was the best of all time. I expect Ron to be a man and stand on his tippy toes and put a weight jacket on and stand on business. Ox said it just right. He said it just right. I can't believe that, Chill. I can't believe that. Mars, you heard it. You heard everything he said. And then now I want y'all to play back in your mind the other day when I was on here, had to put my head down because of that nonsense dribble.
You was getting fried, yeah.
No.
The show is getting fried. But
no. This thing. Y'all are disgusting. I tried to ease up on Giannis, and then you turned it into some nonsense. You did that, Ron. I want everybody to know that. You did that.
That was real talk. But anyways, we have Super Chat, so let's get into them. The first one is from Black Moon Swordsman. Black Moon said, random animal facts. The platypus is a mammal that can lay eggs, use electroreception, better than echolocation, like sharks to find prey. That's dope. Close eyes, nostrils, and ears when underwater. They also get pouches like femcangs, but no nipples. They sweat melt through glands. Males have venomous spurs. He meant to say spurs. This animal is stranger than it looks, and
they also
looks very strange.
And they also produce their own venom too. Not many mammals do that. Yep.
They kind of look like.
There you go, Chill.
If you're not like big on Pokemon, Psyduck.
Yes.
Psyduck. It's a platypus, I believe. So.
And he evolves into?
Mm-hmm. Man, what is he involved into?
Oh,
man.
you're not a real
What's his name?
Pokemoner. You don't know what he evolves into?
Golduck.
That's right.
Come on, Swiper. You're supposed to
First
know
off,
that.
he didn't have any role on that show except to be in Misty's backpack. Didn't
That's
do
right.
anything on that show.
That's right.
Did nothing on the show. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to Platypus. And shout out to Rod. Rod said the owners are trying to stop players from playing overseas and unrivaled already. So Jordan's yapping.
Yeah.
Shout out Unrivaled. Slitherman said the league's financials aren't even public, so we don't know what these potential losses consist of.
Hey, we need to get Pablo Torres on this real
right.
soon.
That's even worse.
I think the books is getting cooked. That's just me. I think they're cooking the books. Yes, they are.
The next super chat is from Jonathan Frazier. Jonathan said a courtside ticket at the Aces game today is $1,848. You can be truthful and still make a legit point, Jordan. Leave the lying crap up to Penn. Damn. Penn catch a stray.
Ticket, man. Goddamn.
Jeez.
For the playoffs, man. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We got a couple new members. One is Duce Rhodes. The other is Swiper's favorite, Kareem NYK 2001. Then we got another member named Mikey Boy 422080. And of course, a Hall of Famer, a new Hall of Famer, Football Breakdown. Shout out to Football Breakdown.
Hey, chill,
Shout out to
Also,
Ray.
he gonna be in the thing tomorrow. He gonna be in the trials.
Football breakdown.
Probably.
Because I know that's why he became a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer.
He
Ain't no
said
other
he wants to
reason
be there. He said
If
he is a Hall of. He said he's a Hall of Famer in the chat today.
He is. Hit me up, Football Breakdown, so I can get
Hey,
you
chill.
in
If you
the
had to
mix
rank
and up to
one
date.
buddy, Kareem, and Grandpa Town, how would you rank those three? Start, bench, cut.
Kareem doesn't bother Chill. Kareem gonna be number one for sure.
He was calling Chill names today, so he's obviously adding himself to the list. Hey,
Man, that's a one-day thing, man. That's a
hashtag
one-day
list. How would you rank them, Chill?
Well, like how you feel about Ron in terms of how petite he is? That's Grandpa Town. So he, a good gust of wind will come along and blow him right away. So ain't really much to him. So and the other dude, he the same way. So yeah, it's start dude, bench, Grandpa, cut, Kareem.
It's not bad. Mars, what about
Dude
your
don't
haters?
even get mentioned by name, by the way. Dude don't even get mentioned by name. You just dude.
Mars, who are your haters in the chat?
Kareem is probably my biggest hater. There's a guy
making your name in the hating community. Keep going.
There's a guy who doesn't hate in the live chat, but he be hating in the comments. I read one of his comments. It literally said nothing else other than "I hate Mars with a passion." I was like, okay, I guess. I was like, oh, nice, okay.
So y'all know not everybody loves Mars. There's plenty of people who can't stand the sight of Mars. Yes,
my hate comes mostly on Twitter, but I love it.
Only the great ones get hated, don't worry, man.
I be trolling on Twitter. People don't like it.
Yo, trolls.
But yeah, I don't have many haters, so Kareem might win by default. I don't have many in the chat.
All right, y'all. The next super chat is from, speaking of haters in the chat, Andrew G said, shout out to PC, except Chill. Celtics will be back.
He was definitely doing he was definitely doing my homework in school. Yes, he was. 100% he was. And buying me lunch.
Damn.
And I didn't even need him to do my homework. I didn't need him to do my homework because I knew it, but just off the strength that I knew I could get it off from him. And I wasn't much of a bully, but from him, yes, 100% I was.
But what about the lunch though? Chill, like
yeah.
He's about
and the reason the reason why this whole thing started is because he was the dude in school in the back of the cafeteria cracking jokes. Like I ain't really had no problem with him, but once he started that, it was cracking. It was on.
All right. Context clues.
What was your nickname in middle school? What they call you?
In middle school? Context clues said so. So about them WNBA games that happened last night, I'm assuming. Also, that's how you close out a series.
Yes, that's how you end it. That's a fact. I can get with that.
Real talk. We know the face. We know the name. He sent through a members chat and he said, Dub Show, shout out Mars, Ron, Chill, and Pacers jersey guy.
Yeah, shout out my little bro.
Reggie Miller. He saw the Reggie Miller. Good eyes.
That's like Damien right there from Australia. That's Damien. Yes, sir.
Like the Mamba Mentality book too. Good book. All right, fellas. Well, it has been fun. It has been real. We will be back tomorrow for the PCL play-in. You guys make sure you're on time because we got a lot to get through tomorrow. Damien, appreciate you for pulling up. Where can the people find you at?
Appreciate you guys. Damian Peters, NBA, across all platforms. Come say good day.
All right. Damien, we'll catch
Later,
you next
fellas.
week. Fellas, I'll
next
catch
time.
you tomorrow. Chat, I'll see you guys later on Throwback Thursday. And once again, make sure that you scan this QR code or click the link in the description because this show is brought to you by none other than Splash Sports. Compete against fans, not against the house.